People in Douluo can travel across all realms. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 26 Kusanagi Sword. 15 days passed quickly. Wu, I'm leaving. Then when will you come next time? Wu said expectantly. He really wanted to hear from Yunshu. I'll just leave for a day and come to see you the day after tomorrow. Well, it depends on the situation, but if I'm free, I'll be back soon. Have you forgotten? I have wings. Yunshu pointed to his back and said, if you don't mention it, I'll forget it. You agreed to take me to the sky once. Lifting her wings, Wu immediately got excited and said coquettishly while hugging Yunshu's arm. This time Yunshu had to take her to the sky to fly around. Yunshu had no choice but to promise her to go to the sky at night when no one was around. The ghost destroys the world. Yunshu reappeared at the place where it disappeared last time, that is, under the Vinatak mountain. I knew that. I went back with Tanzi last time. Now the ghost knows where Sajiri mountain is. Yunshu remembered that he seemed to have only seen it in anime and learned the name Sajiri mountain. He didn't even know where Washan was. Helpless, Yunshu had no choice but to go down the mountain to find the villagers to ask. Tanjiro's one-day journey should not be too far. Finally, after asking nearly 10 families, I finally learned the exact location of Mount Sajiri. Yunshu rushed there non-stop. If it was late, Tanjiro might not wait for him, but chose to set off alone with Nezuko. After all, he is only staying at Lintake's house temporarily, and his own sun wheel sword may also be kept at Lintake's place for safekeeping. It's too slow to go like this. Yunshu ran, and suddenly realized that he might not be able to reach Lintake tomorrow morning at his speed. My own crow didn't know where it flew to, probably because it didn't find Yunshu last time, and flew back to its nest. There seems to be no one here. Yunshu looked around. There were only a few houses, and most of the people had gone to work. Let's take off here. Yunshu spread his wings and flew into the sky with a swish. Tanjiro, you have to remember that the Japanese knives are also called color-changing blades, which can change color according to the characteristics of the owner, but your Japanese knives are this rare black. The number of knives that turn black is too rare, so we know very little about it, and it is precisely because of this ignorance that some people say that swordsmen with black knives will not improve. After hearing this, Tanzi didn't pay attention and said with a smile on her face, although I don't know what will happen in the Demon Slayer squad, I will definitely make Nezuko turn back into a human. Yes, I believe you can do it. Also, this is the box used to hold Nezuko. Tanjiro finally embarked on the journey of the first mission, and Yunshu didn't know where Jibafui was at this time. About 10 minutes after Tanjiro left, Yunshu finally saw a house at the foot of Sajiri mountain. Bang! Exclamation mark. Yunshu lifted his wings in space, and if he was seen by this original water column, it might cause unnecessary trouble. You are? Lintake, who heard the commotion outside, came out and found a little friend who had blown a hole in the ground outside. Where's Tanjiro? At this time, Yunshu had already been flying all night, and his physical strength was almost exhausted. It's been about a quarter of an hour since you left. You are the mysterious boy that Tanjiro said. Rinaki said to him, after seeing Yunshu in the uniform of the Demon Slayer squad. Okay. Come in. Your sun wheel knife is inside. Lintake didn't say much, just invited Yunshu to go in. It seems that Tanjiro didn't tell Rinaki about Yunshu's situation, but probably just told him that he met a very powerful boy. Otherwise, Lintake shouldn't have reacted like this when he saw Yunshu. But that's good too. It saves Yunshu a lot of trouble. He told Tanjiro that it was just to enhance Tanko's strength, so maybe he could awaken Zebra earlier and affect himself. Afterwards, Yunshu didn't think about it. This is not his world, and if he encounters any troubles, he can return to Douluo and stop coming here. Your sun wheel knife is very special. Well, I'm used to the double-edged sword, and I can better display my strength. Yunshu said lightly. Sit down and have a cup of tea. Lintake said without saying a word. No, I have urgent matters. Yunshu got his special sun wheel sword and was about to leave. He had a generation gap with this old man and couldn't talk. "Can you let me see the color of your solar blade?" When Yunshu was about to leave, Lintaki said suddenly. "Okay," Yunshu said helplessly. Yunshu unpacked the sun wheel knife. "This?" Yunshu stared at this sword with a dazed expression. It was actually made exactly the same as the Kusanagi sword he used before. Could it be that Tiriaki is a child prodigy who has never forgotten, and he can remember it at a glance? The shape of his own Kusanagi sword. No wonder he was able to take office at the age of 8, and he really has 2 brushes. End of this chapter. Chapter 27. Do I still have body fragrance? Yunshu took out the sun wheel Kusanagi sword and grasped it. Soon, a burst of red instantly permeated the entire sword body. The red blade. As expected of Yan Zhu's stepson, he perfectly inherited Yan Zhu's characteristics. Lintaki said in surprise. "How come what you said makes me feel like I have become the son of a good brother?" Yunshu thought to himself. "Your crow and Tanjiro's are together. As long as you follow Tanjiro, the crow will find you." Rinaki said. "This request was actually asked by Ayatsuki, but now that I have seen it, then there is no need to leave the cloud tree. Drive me away so quickly, because you just asked me to stay and drink tea just to see my sword." Yunshu complained silently in his heart. Leaving Linlong, Yunshu hastily chased after him in the direction he pointed. "I'm really tired," Yunshu gasped and said helplessly. Finally, after 2 hours of chasing with long hair, Yunshu finally met Tanjiro. "Sasuke-kun." Tanjiro shouted in surprise when he saw Yunshu. "Ang?" Yunshu looked back suspiciously after hearing this, and then realized that this was the name he gave Tanjiro the last time he fooled. Selected from the first and last names of Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke. In fact, this name is at most fooling around Tanjiro, because Yunshu was given a false identity just after he came to this world, the stepson of Yan Zhu's good brother, whose name is exactly Yunshu's own name. A young man from my great heavenly dynasty, who is good at using the double-edged sword of the heavenly dynasty. "I thought you wouldn't come," Tanjiro said excitedly after seeing Yunshu. "With you here, I feel more at ease." Tanzi was still immersed in Yunshu's powerful strength, but he didn't realize that his own strength had actually improved a lot after using Kagura, the god of fire, proficiently. Yunshu was taken aback. "Why is it so strange to say this from your mouth?" Yunshu's height is only a little bit taller than Nadal's shrunken size. The two of them look like brothers. It always feels a bit strange for an older brother to say that to his younger brother's strangeness. Arriving at the target town, Yunshu directly found a hotel and opened a room to rest. He flew all night, then rested for less than half an hour, and then drove for 2 hours. Although the two of them walked over after finding the charcoal, the lingering sense of exhaustion was still tormenting Yunshu, so he planned to take a nap. Anyway, the ghosts here only eat girls, and Tanjiro can handle it too. No need to do it himself. Night. Yunshu in his sleep suddenly felt a little chilly, and then 2 bloodless claws suddenly stretched out to cover Yunshu's mouth. Yunshu was startled awake, and then looked at the body dragged into the water with a dazed expression. "The idea came to me," Yunshu thought speechlessly. Although he was a little speechless towards the ghost, Yunshu still snapped off the ghost's claws, and then instantly took out the sun wheel sword from the storage space, and cut off the ghost's arm. "Sasuke-kun." Tanjiro also rushed to Yunshu's side with a young man at this time. "What's going on?" Yunshu looked at Tanjiro and asked suspiciously. "I came after the smell of this ghost," Tanjiro said when he saw the severed arm at Yunshu's feet. "Damn it. It's a smell I've never smelled before." Just a little bit. On the side wall, the ghost who attacked Yunshu at night exposed his upper half and said angrily, with a look of salivation, "Never heard of it?" Yunshu suddenly became interested. It seemed that this ghost was attracted by his own soul power. "Hey, myself. What's the condition of your arm?" At this time, another ghost that looked exactly the same showed its upper body on the ground on the other side. "Ah. Why didn't you recover?" the grumpy ghost suddenly said in a puzzled tone. 2. Tanzi said in shock after seeing it. 3. Just as Yunshu finished speaking, an identical ghost appeared in front of the two of them. It's just that this ghost doesn't seem to be able to speak, only its teeth are constantly fighting there. Sasuke-kun, what should I do? Tanjiro said nervously. Tanjiro always felt that he became very unconfident after staying with Yunshu too much. In the original book, he solved the 3 bosses who left the novice village by himself. Don't worry, you can solve it. Yunshu patted Tanzi on the shoulder and then disappeared. Tanjiro shouted excitedly as he watched Yunshu disappear in shock. Does Yunshu interfere with Tanjiro's growth? Compared with the original book, Tanjiro seems to lack some confidence, so Yunshu decided that this monster should be solved by Tanzi alone. Yunshu didn't leave because he wasn't sure if there would be an accident, so he just hid in the dark and observed, and didn't leave Tanjiro alone and run away. Tanzi, come on. Yunshu secretly encouraged Tanjiro in the dark. End of this chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 28. Charcoal, come on. Tanjiro, who was facing the 3 evil spirits, seemed to hear Yunshu's voice. His eyes froze. What's going on with this kid? He looks like a different person. The ghost, who could speak seriously at the side, shrank his neck when he saw Tanjiro like this. I can do it. Tanjiro exhaled lightly and then slashed at the ghost with the broken arm. Water breathing. Type. HMM. Not bad. Yunshu nodded after watching Tanjiro begin to play normally from hiding in the dark. But Yunshu's worry is unnecessary. Even if the charcoal can't beat it, there is still a beam behind. Soon, the box behind Tanjiro, who was surrounded by 3 evil spirits and fell into the wind, moved and kicked out violently, kicking all the evil spirits away, turning his neck around countless times. HMM. Yunshu nodded again after seeing Nezuko come out. Daozi is really beautiful. Even if she becomes a ghost, she is still very beautiful. Nezuko, I want to go down. You protect them both. It can be done. Tanzi smiled at Nezuko, saying everything without saying anything. Yeah. Nezuko nodded when she saw Tanko's smile. He shouldn't be that stupid. Yunshu squinted his eyes. After Tanzi fell into the evil ghost swamp, Kagura dance was almost useless, and he could only use water breathing. Because there is no foothold in the swamp, let alone dancing, it is not easy to turn over. Yunshu was afraid of Tanzi, so he used it after seeing the power of Kagura dance. It seems that I have to come forward, otherwise I will be in trouble if something happens. Yunshu squinted his eyes at the remaining evil ghost with a broken arm. Little ghost, let me eat you. The evil ghost who was fighting with Nezuko seemed to smell some big meal, then left Nezuko who was fighting with him, and ran towards Yunshu. I don't have a long memory. The corner of Yunshu's mouth twitched. This ghost had just cut off an arm by himself, and he still hasn't recovered, and he still wants to eat himself. But this also made Yunshu see how much his body is tempting to ghosts. Could it be that he is also thin-blooded? With unprecedented soul power and the temptation of thin blood, it seems that this ghost has been dazzled by Yunshu's delicious food. How Yunshu let out a breath, took out the sun wheel sword, and cut off the evil spirit's head with a single stroke. As soon as Yunshu came to the swamp and was about to jump off, Tanzi jumped up from below. It seems that my worries are unnecessary. Yunshu raised his eyebrows. Tanzi was not as stupid as he thought. Sasuke-kun, Tanjiro said in surprise when he saw Yunshu. Where's Nezuko? Tanjiro thought that there was another evil spirit and hurriedly asked. Here, I'm already asleep. Yunshu was also speechless. Daozi, a weird ghost, can recover only by sleeping. Once injured, he will start to sleep immediately after leaving the battle. Nezuko. Tanzi breathed a sigh of relief, came to Nezuko, and put him in the box. Quack-quacko. My crows are here too. Yunshu looked at the 2 crows flying from the sky and raised his eyebrows. Next is Asakusa in Kyoto Prefecture. Asakusa in Kyoto Prefecture. It is rumored that there are ghosts lurking there. Yunshu is here too. So fast. Tanjiro exclaimed. He was about to deal with the next ghost before he rested. Go. The crow fluttered on Tan's shoulder. I got it. I got it. By the way, who is Yunshu? Tanjiro asked suspiciously. Tanjiro should be the only one in the entire Demon Slayer team who doesn't know Yunshu's real name and thinks his real name is Uzumaki Sasuke. It's me, Yunshu said quietly. Huh? Tanjiro exclaimed in shock. Then, Tanjiro hesitated. Just call me Sasuke. Yunshu didn't care much, it was just a name anyway. Okay then. Tanjiro looked at Yunshu in a daze and said, with his simple personality, he couldn't understand why Yunshu did this at all. Asakusa. Yunshu touched his chin. Boss Zyro Wuiao seems to be hiding there during this period of time, as well as ZH Yushi, a gentle ghost sister. What's the matter? Sasuke-kun knows where it is. Tanko asked doubtfully. Well, I can't say I know about it, but I can say I know it very well. Yunshu said seriously. Tanjiro. Just kidding. Yunshu patted Tanjiro's shoulder. Ghost mate Tsuji is right there. Yunshu's next words gave Tanjiro an instant refreshment. Nani? Tanjiro exclaimed. Then let's go. Tanjiro couldn't stop his excitement at the thought that his sister would soon return to human form. Of course, this is just a thought. It is definitely impossible to recover after seeing Boss Scrap. Don't be so anxious. Even if I see you, I can't beat him. Yunshu still didn't say a word. Even if Wumi pretended to be a human being and had a wife and children, Tanjiro wouldn't do it even if he could. End of this chapter. Chapter 29 Handball Ghost Arrow Ghost. Asakusa. Wow. It looks so lively here. Tanzi looked like a country bumpkin entering the city, but he was right. Don't be stupid. Let's have a meal first. Because Tanjiro doesn't like to stay in crowded places, Yunshu took Tanjiro to a private room in a restaurant. See boy, Sasuke-kun. Does Sasuke-kun come here often? Tanjiro sighed after seeing that Yunshu was so familiar with the rules here. Tell you something serious. Yunshu stopped Tanjiro's behavior. Speak. Giwutsuji Wumi is indeed in this place, but he has changed his name to Yuan, and as the owner of a trading company, he lives with a human woman Lee and a daughter who has no blood relationship. Yunshu vented to Tanzi first. What? Tanjiro said in shock and almost knocked over the table. Won't his wife and daughter find out that he is a ghost? Wumi is the first and longest living ghost in history. It is easy for him to hide his identity. For example, he will definitely sleep at home for various reasons during the day. At night, he will bring his family to haunt normally. But, Tanjiro wanted to say something, but if Onamatsuji was in the middle of so many humans, let alone whether he could beat them, even if he could, so many humans would be defeated tragic as a hostage. It's impossible for Tanjiro to be able to deal with such a gentle and kind character. So what are you going to do? Yunshu ate the delicious food quietly, waiting for Tanjiro's decision. Tanjiro seems to be unable to make a decision. The hatred of his family is as important to Tanjiro as the lives of passers-by, so it is impossible for Tanjiro to make a decision. So I know you can't make a choice. Yunshu shook his head. Let me tell you secretly, there is a doctor here. Maybe he can treat your sister. Yunshu said quietly. Red bean paste. Tanjiro said in surprise. Ahem. Don't get excited. I mean it might be possible. Not so sure. Yunshu signaled Tanjiro to calm down first. Grandma Zashi did develop a method to turn ghosts back into humans, but that's because of Tanjiro's help. What's wrong? Yunshu asked suspiciously when he saw Tanjiro froze suddenly. Tanjiro's expression became ferocious, as if he had seen some amazing scene, and then he picked up the Japanese sword and ignored his sister and jumped from the window on the second floor. TSK. Yunshu smacked his lips. Tanjiro still couldn't resist the temptation of Wuiao's blood and was attracted by the smell of this enemy. But Yunshu didn't plan to go there. Tanjiro didn't have any major problems anyway, and the little grandma Zashi that Yunshu planned to introduce to him was also near Wumi, so he could meet him when he went there. Yunshu looked at Nadaozi, who was nodding and dozing off with a smile on his lips, and continued to sweep up the remaining food on the table. Pearl family. Yunshu, Tanjiro, and Nezuko were invited to Zashi's home by Yashiro after the boss scrap incident. Let me deal with the two mice that followed. Yunshu said to the few people present. Have you seen through Yashiro's blood ghost technique? I'm really bothering you. Zhu she was very smart, and he heard Yunshu's meaning, and said to Yunshu, ugh, what a pity. The effective scope of the system does not include other worlds. Yunshu came to the door and sighed. His system can only be rewarded in the Douluo world. If this world can also get rewards, it's not taking off in place. Call out. A handball hit Yunshu at an extremely abnormal speed. Laugh! Exclamation mark. With the speed of thunder and the jingle of bells, Yunshu drew out the sun wheel sword and slashed across the flying handball. Oh, it's just a human being, but I can see the trajectory of your red arrow. Handball ghost Zhu Samaru said to the arrow Onihahua with a smile. Yunshu gave them a meaningful expression. He really wanted to say something now. Obviously your ball speed is too slow. A mere human brat. How dare you look at us with that kind of eyes? Zhu Samaru said angrily, and then two handballs struck at the same time. The handball kept changing its trajectory as it was flying, as if it wanted to block Yunshu's counterattack by hitting east and west. How Yunshu exhaled and narrowed his eyes. Sleeping flower blade. A strange flower bloomed in Yunshu's hand, and then the petals shot at the two evil spirits one by one. Hey, are you stupid? Who stipulated that ghost hunters can only use swords? Yunshu sneered. The two ghosts had been hit by Yunshu's flower blade and fell asleep. Yunshu's guess was good. As long as it was a living body, the flower blade could make it fall into a deep sleep. Well, there is no reward anyway, so I might as well leave it to Grandma Zhu to do research. Thinking of this, Yunshu cut off the limbs of the two evil spirits, and after a little treatment, he carried them into Zhu home. End of this chapter. Chapter 30 Young People Don. 039. T talk about martial arts. Zashi and Yashiro were taken aback when Yunshu brought the two evil spirits into the house. There is no doubt that the strength of a ghost who can see through Yashiro's ability will surpass Yashiro's. Such a powerful two evil ghosts, Yunshu can solve them so easily. It is still the most difficult method to capture alive. I'll let them fall asleep for the time being. You have to find a way to deal with them. Yunshu said lightly. Soon, Zhu took out an oversized syringe, and after each ghost drew a bucket of blood, Zhu told Yunshu that the two ghosts were useless. Is it useless? Don't you need to do some experiments on them? Yunshu asked curiously. It's better to experiment on the two of them than on yourself. Only by doing the experiment on myself can I better experience the effect of the experiment, and ghosts are still very resilient, so don't worry about anything going wrong. Zhu explained. Okay, then I'll drag them out to bask in the sun. Yunshu said helplessly. It was only a few hours before dawn, and the limbs of these two evil spirits were cut off by Yunshu with the breath of the sun, so it was impossible to recover for the time being. Even if they were tied up, they would not be able to run away. You hateful ghost hunter. You don't talk about martial arts. Unexpectedly, Onihahua, the arrowhead, woke up and said weakly to Yunshu. Yunshu, this is a celestial vocabulary. How could you, a ghost from other places, know? Then, under Yunshu's watchful eye, the two evil ghosts were wiped out under the rising sun. Next, after Zashi asked Tanjiro to help him collect blood, Yunshu and Tanzi embarked on the journey of killing ghosts again. Please, marry me. What? Tanzi, there's an old man in front. Yunshu said faintly. Stop. Tanjiro hurried up to stop my wife's Zenitsu hooliganism. Team uniforms. You were from that time. My wife Zenitsu seemed to remember that these two people in front of me were one of the 5 people who survived the final trial of the Demon Slayer squad. After seeing Yunshu and Tanjiro, this brat has survived until now. My wife Shanai said in shock when she saw Yunshu. Suddenly a well appeared on Yunshu's forehead. Ah, help me. Seeing Yunshu squinting at him, my wife Shanai was frightened and hid behind Tanjiro. At this moment, Yunshu and Tanjiro's crow flew over. Tanjiro, Zenai, Yunshu, let's run. Let's go to the next place together. Run. My wife Shanai was so frightened that her eyes popped out. When she saw the crow speak, she just lay down and rolled on the ground. Ah, the crow is talking. Let's go. Yunshu glanced helplessly at the old pervert. He was simply a psychopath. Under the instruction of the crow, the three of Yunshu came to the final destination, the House of Ghosts, and the drum ghost Xiangke. If there were no accidents, there should be 3 ghosts here, and the other 2 were attracted by the blood of the brothers of the 2 children in front of Yunshu. Hurry up and go in and finish it. Yunshu pulled out the sun wheel sword. These slags can't put pressure on charcoal. If he can fast forward, he wants to enter the plot of the infinite train now. There are evil ghosts eating people inside. I don't want to go in. My wife Shanai heard Yunshu say that she wanted to go in, and she hugged Tanjiro's thigh and cried and cried. Go in if you don't want to. Yunshu picked up my wife Shanai and threw it in from the window on the 2nd floor and then jumped into. What? My wife Shanai opened her eyes and found that she had already entered and fainted from fright. Boom. A drum sounded, and the room where Yunshu was located changed instantly, and the windows behind him disappeared. Yunshu frowned. He found that Tanjiro hadn't followed. However, Yunshu didn't know that Tanjiro didn't intend to come in from the 2nd floor at all, because he didn't know what was going on here. So Tanjiro walked in through the main entrance, after handing Nezuko to the 2 children outside the door. Snapped. Yunshu patted my wife Shanyi awake, and then began to look for the evil spirit inside. For this kind of blood ghost technique with space ability, Yunshu has no better way. His current strength is not enough to blow up the house at once, so he can only come in and look for it. Can you stop tugging at my trouser legs? Yunshu said helplessly to this funny guy. It's scary, the room changed automatically. You must protect me. You pull me like this, and we will die together later. Yunshu said faintly. My wife Shanai was stunned for a moment, then stood up and came to the back of Yunshu. Boom. Another drum beat, and the room changes again. Yunshu heard the roar from the door. It should be Yan Zhu in Asuke's voice. I'm going to fuck. The pig is advancing by leaps and bounds. Thanks to book friends 2020124161645629 for the 1500 starting coins. End of this chapter. Chapter 31, Leaving Ghost's Lair. Pigs advance by leaps and bounds. The sound of a pig's head. Yunshu raised his eyebrows, so Tanjiro should be nearby. Hey. Huang Mao, you go and meet Tanjiro. I'll find that ghost and kill it. Don't. I don't want to go out. My wife Shanai immediately hugged Yunshu's thigh and cried out. Fuck you, uncle. Yunshu couldn't stand this trash anymore, and directly kicked someone out, throwing my wife Shanai flying. After throwing that disgusting guy away, Yunshu began to look for the boy holding the drum that fell from the drum ghost. Yunshu's hearing is still very sensitive, so now his ears are almost filled with the sounds of Yan Zhu's pig rushing forward, sleeping Zhu's dying, head Zhu Shanai-jun, and other voices. Although it is small, it is quite clear, because his physique is somewhat different from that of people in this world, and the enhancement of soul power upgrade is all round. Otherwise the 12-year-old protagonist group in the original book would not have such a figure up. Soon, Yunshu found the boy who kept beating the drum. Hey, don't knock anymore. Yunshu yelled. He kept knocking like this, but he couldn't find that ghost even if he died. But if I don't knock, the monster will find this place. The boy thought that Yunshu didn't know where this place was, so he explained it to Yunshu. I know, I'm here to kill monsters. Yunshu comforted the injured boy. But, you don't look as old as me. The boy looked at Yunshu, who was bowing his head, and said in a low voice. Hush. Yunshu told the young man to shut up when he heard the sound coming from outside the door. I didn't expect to meet so soon. Bang! Exclamation mark. The wooden door was kicked open by the ghost, and countless pieces of wood flew towards Yunshu. Yunshu frowned, and realized that the ghost that came was not the one beating the drum, but the evil ghost that my wife Shanai instantly killed in the original book. What are you doing? You made me happy for nothing. Yunshu said speechlessly. The sun wheel sword casually slashed, and the long-tongued ghost was beheaded instantly. See boy. The boy said with a trembling voice. Then you follow me. Let's find the ghost with the drum on his body. Okay. The boy hurriedly hugged the drum and followed Yunshu. After the young man stopped beating the drum, the house became very simple. Yunshu first checked the floor he was on. It was on the second floor, and the sound of those chaotic footsteps was almost all on the first floor below. That would be much easier. Yunshu picked up the boy holding the drum and jumped out of the window on the second floor. RRRRR. PFFT. Land safely. Stop screaming. You've already come out. Yunshu watched the drum in the boy's arms gradually dissipate under the sunlight. Elder brother. It seems that the two children did not follow in this time, and that's right. It is impossible for Tanjiro to bring the two children into the place where the ghost is. You take care of this box. I'll go back as soon as I go, Yunshu said, and rushed into the ghost's house again. Puff! Exclamation mark. Looking at the drum ghost who happened to be beheaded, Yunshu was stunned for a moment. Duel. On the way to the wisteria house, Inosuke, with a big bag on his forehead, kept pestering Tanjiro to fight him. Although my wife Zenitsu did not protect Nezuko this time, because Yunshu stopped the boy from beating the drum, the three of them met before encountering the ghost. The two still fought, and as for the result, it was very similar to the original novel. Inosuke had a big bag on his head. Little devil, what are you looking at? Inosuke said unhappily, after seeing Yunshu staring at him. Inosuke just finished saying this, and suddenly passed out. Yunshu closed Sharingan, and then signaled my wife Shanai to carry him on her back. I was bullying Lele along the way, and it would be good if I didn't hit him. Sasuke-kun? Tanjiro asked suspiciously. It's nothing, he just fell asleep, Yunshu said lightly. It will be about a week in the future. Should I go back first? Yunshu rubbed his chin and thought to himself. He and Tanjiro have no problems, but my wife Zenitsu and Inosuke also suffered serious injuries this time. Although it is not like the original book with broken ribs, it will take at least 5 or 6 days. Yunshu's current soul power is still at level 12, because cultivating to improve the level of soul power is actually absorbing the aura of heaven and earth. There is a fart aura in this world, and it would be good without the turbid aura of ghosts. So he can't patronize having fun, and occasionally he has to work hard to practice. Well, going back after only a few days away, will it affect her dependence on me? Forget it. Let's go directly to the Star Forest. Yunshu made up his mind. Tanjiro, go to the Fujiya with them. I have something to leave for about a week. Why? Tanjiro asked suspiciously. I'm leaving. Yunshu ignored them and ran directly to the nearby forest. End of this chapter. Chapter 32 Saber-toothed Tiger. Douluo World. Stardao Great Forest. After Yunshu came back here, he specially flew to the Stardao Forest again, because there are many powerful soul beasts here. There is no soul fighting arena in Notting City, and if Yunshu wants to fight the soul, he has to go to the next country at least. The distance is too far, and it is obviously not worthwhile, so it is more appropriate to stay in the Stardao Forest. But that being said, the Stardao Great Forest is quite dangerous. Yunshu looked at the saber-toothed tiger in front of him, and muttered in his heart. This tiger has been chasing him for an hour or two. If Yunshu didn't want to defeat him, he would have flown away. Yunshu has not received a reward for almost a month, and today he finally ran into one, and he must not run away, nor let it go. What kind of tiger is this Gyari? Yunshu panted and said depressedly, the illusion of Sharingan and the soul skill of Wangyoucao are completely ineffective on it. Even a little influence on it can't do it. Roar. With a roar, the saber-toothed tiger rushed towards Yunshu again. After a long chase, the saber-toothed tiger lost his patience. Seeing that Yunshu had stopped, it didn't move, so it rushed towards Yunshu directly. Your uncle. Yunshu took out the Kusanagi sword and put it in front of him, trying to resist the pounce clang. Yunshu dodged the blow with a sliding shovel from below, and the Kusanagi sword took the opportunity to slash towards the tiger's belly, but there was a sound of metal colliding in the end. Lying on the grass. The belly is so thick. Yunshu said in shock. The grass shaving sword is a particularly hard weapon, but he didn't expect it to be so unbearable in this world. Even a 1000-year-old soul beast couldn't break through the defense. Yunshu jumped back away from the saber-toothed tiger, and then clenched the Kusanagi sword in his hand. Since ordinary slashing has no effect, then use moves. He let out a breath, took another deep breath, and the temperature of the Kusanagi sword in Yunshu's hand gradually increased. A blow from the star. The wings behind him spread out fiercely, and with the forceful flap and Yunshu's running speed, the whole person was so close that after images appeared. Roar. The saber-toothed tiger roared and ran towards Yunshu at the same time. The tiger's claws gradually emitted purple light. Hey, monster, eat my full power sword. Yunshu remembered those characters in the anime. The harder he shouted when zooming in, the more powerful the move was, and Yunshu couldn't help but scream out. Roar. The saber-toothed tiger swung its claws emitting a strange purple light. Bang! Exclamation mark. When the flaming longsword hit the tiger's claw, it exploded, blasting Yunshu and the saber-toothed tiger out at the same time. Grass. Before being blown away, Yunshu clearly saw how his Kusanagi sword was broken into pieces. Boom. Yunshu was bounced by the shockwave of the explosion and hit a big tree. Cough cough poof. Yunshu spat out the blood gushing out of his throat. He didn't care to wipe off the blood stains around his mouth, and then quickly jumped onto the giant tree behind him. Fortunately, the wings were confiscated, and at the critical moment of the impact, Yunshu curled up his wings to block the impact on his back. Even so, Yunshu suffered serious internal injuries, but the tiger was still alive, and Yunshu didn't dare to be careless. Yunshu, who was hiding on the tree, suddenly felt short of breath and felt a sharp pain in his chest from time to time. Not good. Yunshu knew that he must have broken several ribs and also had some problems with his heart and lung function. I have to solve it quickly and run away if I can't solve it. Seeing that there was no movement in front of him, Yunshu began to flap his wings to observe from the air. Yunshu just opened his wings and found that the wings could not be stretched at all, and the wings also felt a sharp pain. The impact just now has almost shattered the wings. Helpless, Yunshu could only retract his wings, let the wings recover slowly in his body, and then slowly climbed down from the tree. He could no longer withstand the impact in his current state, and landing at a high place might make his injuries worse. Lanquan sword. Yunshu released this martial spirit, and even the Kusanagi sword couldn't break through its defenses, and the sun wheel sword imitating the Kusanagi sword couldn't hurt the saber-toothed tiger, so Yunshu took out this sword that had never been used in battle. Martial souls used in Yunshu approached the saber-toothed tiger lightly, and found that it seemed to have passed out. A smile finally appeared on the corner of Yunshu's mouth. Let you chase after me. Although he didn't know if this blow could kill it, Yunshu still held the Lanquan sword in his backhand and stabbed the saber-toothed tiger fiercely in the eyes. As long as it is a creature, the eyes are almost all weak points, but it is not easy to hit when awake. Buff! Exclamation mark. Sure enough, the fragile eyes were not as hard as its belly, and the Lanquan sword directly pierced into it without any pressure. Hoo hoo ho. The saber-toothed tiger woke up from the pain and screamed. Yunshu had already put away the Lanquan sword and hid, watching it secretly screaming incessantly. Not long after, Yunshu heard the screams gradually stop, so he began to approach slowly. End of this chapter. Chapter 33. Ningrangrang. Is the vitality so tenacious? Yunshu looked at the fallen saber-toothed tiger and said in surprise. Obviously not moving yet, but still not dead. Yunshu saw this and prepared to go up and make another cut. Yunshu took a deep breath, endured the severe pain in his body, and came to the saber-toothed tiger, took out the dragon spring, and aimed it at its eyes. There was no way. The rest of the place was too hard, and with Yunshu's current strength, he couldn't poke it in. So I can only use this vicious method to give it a ride. In the next life. Roar. Before Yunshu finished speaking, the saber-toothed tiger pounced on Yunshu like a flash of light. Grass. Yunshu was frightened for a moment and froze in place. After realizing it, he cursed secretly and blocked the Lanquan sword in front of him. This time he didn't have the strength to make another sliding shovel. Bang! Exclamation mark. It can only be crushed by this huge tiger. Yunshu, who was already seriously injured, was knocked unconscious by the saber-toothed tiger on the spot. Ding. Kill the 4,500-year-old thorn-toothed tiger, and you will be rewarded with advanced lottery tickets. After an unknown amount of time, Yunshu woke up attracted by the smell of food. Not dead. Yunshu opened his eyes, looked at the ceiling, and realized that he was rescued by someone. Are you awake? A slightly playful voice sounded in Yunshu's ear. Well, did you save me? His Yunshu got up from the bed and found that his body was in pain. Hey, don't move. My grandfather said that your injuries are too serious and you need to rest for a while. The girl quickly came to Yunshu and pushed him down. It was my grandfather who saved you. When we went to the Stardow forest, we happened to see you being crushed by the thorn-toothed tiger. That's right. My grandfather said that you hunted and killed that tiger-toothed tiger alone. Is it true? The girl looked at Yunshu and asked curiously, is that saber-toothed tiger dead? Yunshu didn't know. He probably passed out before the saber-toothed tiger died. Dead. When my grandfather found you, it had been dead for a long time, and the spirit ring had disappeared. How long have I been in a coma? Yunshu asked in astonishment when he heard this. You have been in a coma for 3 days. 3 days. Yunshu murmured. That's right. Yunshu hurriedly checked the system. He wanted to see if the saber-toothed tiger died in his hands. If not, it would be a big loss. It's great. Ahem. Yunshu said excitedly when he saw the high-level lottery tickets in the warehouse, but this excitement caused another wound on his body. Hey, take care of yourself. My grandfather said that when you recover from your injury, he has something to talk to you about. The girl patted Yunshu on the back and then brought the food from the table beside him to Yunshu. Eat. Take a good rest after eating. The girl left the room after she finished speaking, leaving only Yunshu staring blankly in a daze. In fact, Yunshu just focused all his attention on the system. The 5,000-year-old soul beast he killed last time only rewarded an intermediate level lottery ticket. This time, the 4,000-year-old soul beast directly rewarded a high-level lottery ticket. It seems that the system is not without intelligence at all. At least it can tell how Yunshu defeated or killed the opponent. Last time, the mammoth cloud tree just picked a mistake and killed a dying person, but this time it really risked its own life, and it would die on the spot if it was not careful. I don't know what kind of reward can be offered. Yunshu thought excitedly. But let's eat first. Yunshu rubbed his already growling stomach and decided to eat first. After eating and drinking, Yunshu sank his consciousness into the system again. System. Use advanced lottery tickets. Ding. Congratulations on getting the special weapon, Black Sword, Interpreter. System. I know the interpreter. What does this special weapon mean? Yunshu is quite satisfied with this sword. After all, the shape of the sword itself has got to his point, and his original Kusanagi sword happened to be in the it was damaged in the last battle, just in time for a new one. Special weapons. The interpreter comes with special sword skills, and the host's soul power level reaches level 20 to unlock. There is such a good thing. Yunshu said in surprise. Originally, he had to rely on a lottery to obtain powerful skills. He did not expect that the weapon drawn from this advanced lottery had its own sword skill. The sword skill that comes with the weapon must be the most suitable of this weapon, as expected of an advanced lottery ticket. Yunshu sighed inwardly. But speaking of which, I seem to have seen this girl somewhere. Yunshu's heart also calmed down after eating and drinking something good. Now that I think about it carefully, this girl's voice and appearance seem to be very familiar to me. Have you finished eating? Coincidentally, the girl came to Yunshu again at this time. You can't be Ningrangrong, right? Yunshu asked suddenly. How do you know my name? End of this chapter. Chapter 34 Sword Douluo Chengxin. Snapped. Yunshu covered his face, but he didn't expect to let himself guess correctly. The 6-year-old Ningrangrong didn't wear the original dress that she had worn for 5 years, so Yunshu really didn't recognize it at first, but the familiar facial features and voice made Yunshu faintly suspicious. How could normal people's grandfathers run into the Stardow forest when they are so old? Only Ningrangrong's bone grandfather Bone Douluo Gurong and sword grandfather Jan Douluo Chenzin. Your grandfather who saved me is. Yunshu raised his eyebrows. It's Grandpa Jan. Sure enough. Yunshu thought to himself, it was a real blow. Sword Douluo Chengxin should have happened to run into the saber-toothed tiger that he had killed when he was visiting the Stardow forest, and then found himself under it, and then brought himself back by the way. Then where is it? Yunshu asked curiously. Here it is. Rangrang. Is he awake? Ning Rangrang hadn't finished speaking when a serious voice came from outside the door. Grandpa Jian. He's awake. Oh. That's right. Sword Douluo Chenzin appeared in front of Yunshu. Little friend, your martial soul is a sword. Chenzin went straight to the point and immediately asked about Yunshu's martial soul. Don't worry, I have no malicious intentions. If it's really a sword, I can give you a chance to join the 7 treasure glazed tile school. If your growth satisfies me, I can take you as my disciple. Sword Douluo saw Yunshu in his heart without saying a word. He directly told Yunshu what he thought. It's not easy to meet a martial spirit who is a sword, and he can even leapfrog to kill a 4,000-year-old soul beast. You must know that the strength of a 4,000-year-old soul beast already belongs to the level of the soul sect. Although its IQ is not high, its destructive power is indeed solid. Yunshu was able to kill it with serious injuries, which shows that Yunshu's swordsmanship talent is extremely powerful. Being able to accept such an apprentice will be very helpful to the future of the 7 treasure glazed tile school, and it can even be raised as a child husband by Ning Rangrang. I'm sorry, my martial spirit is a flower. Yunshu didn't have the idea of being a teacher, and he didn't want to reveal his sword martial spirit either. What? How is it possible? Chenzin said in shock. I just like to practice swords, so I bring a sword with me, and I was able to defeat that soul beast, only because my soul skills can make the soul beast fall asleep. Yunshu said seriously. Anyway, the ghost knows his soul skills are useless against spirit beasts. Yunshu spread out his hands, and a light red flower appeared in front of the two of them. It's really a flower, Chenzin exclaimed. My martial soul can control the opponent even without using soul skills. That's why I entered the Stardew forest alone. Yunshu quickly put away the Wangyoucao grass, because he wasn't sure if the black soul snatching aura on it would have an effect on title Douluo. If it is useful, then I will be of great value in their eyes. The martial soul of a mere soul master can affect the title Douluo, and they will probably arrest me and imprison me. Well, since it's not a sword, then it's fine. Sword Douluo looked disappointed. He thought he could accept a promising sword spirit disciple. Rangrang, let's go. Yunshu's injury was no longer serious. Even if he was alone, he would not be unable to take care of himself. Besides, they had no obligation to rescue Yunshu, so their hope was in vain. Rang just left. Fortunately, this titled Douluo is not bad, otherwise I would be miserable. Seeing that they left, Yunshu finally breathed a sigh of relief. If this happened to Douluo, he would definitely kill Yunshu directly. After all, he wasted more than 3 days for himself. Interpreter. Yunshu took out this handsome yuppie longsword. Since it is a special weapon, it should not be as picky as the grass shaving sword before. Yunshu doesn't want this sword to be interrupted in the next battle, then he will really want to cry without tears. The effect of this sword is doomed to his practicality and preciousness, and the accompanying skills are awesome! Exclamation mark. But having said that, I have been asleep for 3 days, and it will take some time to recover from my injuries. I'm afraid I will not be able to participate in the battle at Cheyenne Session. Yunshu lay down on the bed again, wondering what he was thinking. Forget it, without my participation, Tanjiro might have awakened Zebra early due to pressure. After all, his god of fire Kagura is not enough to kill that spider ghost. Besides, it won't be powerless to fight back. As long as you don't get tortured to pieces, charcoal should be fine, right? Yunshu thought that he was not sure in the end, and he hadn't learned how to concentrate on breathing. The chances of awakening the stripes should be small. Oh, I don't want him anymore. I have to recover from my injury quickly. Yunshu lay on the bed and began to use his breathing method with all his strength. Breathing method can speed up the healing of wounds, especially for internal injuries that cannot be healed outside. End of this chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 35 Yansu wants to see you. In this way, about 3 more days passed, and Yunshu's injury was almost recovered, and his ribs were no problem at all without strenuous exercise. It's time to go to the world of Ghost's lair, Yunshu thought to himself. After the Battle of Nation Spider Mountain, the time to the infinite train time can almost be confirmed, and there are still 3 months to go. So Yunshu had to go to Ghost's lair world to see what time period it was, and then come back to continue practicing. Otherwise, always thinking about the things of that world in your mind will be harmful to practice but not beneficial. System, let's go. The wings have also recovered, just fly over. Yunshu stretched the wings behind him and soared into the sky. In order not to repeat the same mistakes, Yunshu specially memorized the locations of some major places in the world last time, so now Yunshu went straight to Nation Spider Mountain. If there are no more ghosts there, it can be basically confirmed that this battle is over. Then Yunshu can go back directly and come back to participate in the plot of the Infinite Train 3 months later. After flying for about half an hour, Yunshu finally came to the sky above Nation Spider Mountain. It seems that I just caught up. Yunshu squinted his eyes. Not only was there a ghostly aura below, but also Tanjiro and the 2 powerful pillars call out. Folding its wings, Yunshu descended from the sky and landed directly beside Tanjiro. Yo. Yunshu greeted Tanjiro, who was lying on the ground. Sasuke-kun. Tanjiro shouted excitedly after seeing Yunshu. Seeing that the head of this spider gilly was hanging upside down by the spider silk, Yunshu knew that it should be Tanzi's Kagura of fire who hadn't cut off his head. Xiaxan's overall strength and consciousness are still much better than Tanzi. Even if Tanzi tried to use the move of the breath of the sun very early, he still couldn't defeat it. This upside down head should be the same as the original. It was cut off by Lei himself when he sensed the danger. Another person who is in the way. Lei looked at this uninvited Yunshu and said with a gloomy face, "Go to hell." Blood Go start scribing rotation. After connecting the head, Lei directly launched his ultimate move, trying to kill Yunshu and Tanjiro together. How Yunshu took a deep breath. The temperature of the Rillant sword gradually increased, and the sword began to emit red light in the dark night. Scorching bone and scorching sun. Yunshu swung his sword, and the raging fire emitted by the already burning sun wheel sword formed a circular slash, directly burning the bloody spider silks that covered the sky, and covering the sky, and then continued to fly towards Tired. My hardest spider silk was actually burned. How could it be possible? Tired and unbelievable that the head had fallen, he uttered the last word, and then he was burned to nothingness by the flames of the sun. Has it been resolved? Tomioka Gi, who appeared next to the 2 of them. HMM. Yunshu nodded, and he was about to leave. Anyway, the next Zuzhang meeting had nothing to do with him, and Tanjiro suffered serious injuries just like the original. Yunshu estimated that my wife Zenitsu and Zuhei Inosuke were similar to the original book. Since all the ghosts have been dealt with, then I'll leave first. Seeing that the 2 pillars had also arrived, Yunshu had nothing to do with himself. Wait. Tomioka Yoshiayuki stopped Yunshu, who was about to leave. Purgatory Anjirao wants to see you. Tomioka Yoshiayuki said lightly. See me? Yunshu thought to himself, but it's not a problem if he thinks about it carefully. His identity can be regarded as Yan Zhu's apprentice, and it's normal for a master to see his apprentice. Okay, let's meet once we see each other. Yunshu happened to go to see the strength of this good big brother. Someone is coming. Yunshu looked aside. At this moment, Changsu Butterfly Shinobi was rushing towards Nezuko, who was held in Tanjiro's arms. Ding! Exclamation mark. Yoshiayuki Tomioka jumped over Tanjiro to help him block Butterfly Shinobi's knife. Mr. Tomioka, do you know what you are doing? Butterfly injured seeing the knife being blocked by Yoshiayuki Tomioka. Although she was still smiling, the veins popped on her forehead still revealed her mood at this time. Tomioka Yoshiayuki didn't answer. He was not good at words, and he was a bit straight-headed. Otherwise he wouldn't be so shocked after learning that all the pillars didn't like him. Little brother, you're holding an evil spirit in your arms. Put her down. Butterfly could not bear to see Tomioka Yoshiayuki ignoring her, and turned to Tanjiro. I know, but she is my sister. But what she didn't know was that Nezuko was Tanjiro's younger sister. How could she abandon her? Yanzu's stepson. Take Tanjiro and leave. Tomioka Yoshiayuki obviously wanted to save Nezuko, turned his head, and said to Yunshu. Yunshu. Is my name so hard to remember? Question mark. Are you Mr. Purgatory's stepson? Do you know the punishment for associating with evil spirits? I endured looking at Yunshu and said. End of this chapter. Chapter 36 Re-chapter Douluo. Tanjiro, let's run. At this time, there is no news from the crow, and it is impossible for Butterfly Shinobu and Kurokawa Kana to let Nezuko go. So Nezuko staying here will only cause unreasonable fights, and Yunshu doesn't want to fight with the members of the Demon Slayer team, so he can only take Tanjiro and Nezuko and leave first. Not long after running, Yunshu heard a voice behind him, and Kanehu caught up. I can't run anymore. People from the ghost killing squad are catching up. Yunshu stopped, but in fact he just didn't want to run away, because soon there would be a message from the crow to bring Tanjiro back. So Yunshu had to stop and stop Kanehu for a while. Clang! Exclamation mark. Kanehu slash at Nezuko was stopped by Yunshu. Get out of the way. She's a ghost. Kanehu looked at Yunshu and said. Yunshu shook his head. Seeing that Yunshu was determined to protect the ghost, Chane went straight to Yunshu, and Yunshu held up the sword to parry her attack again. Why do you want to protect the ghosts? Kanehu looked at Yunshu, who was desperately protecting Nezuko, with a hint of doubt finally showing in her eyes. Nidazi is special. She has never hurt human beings. Yunshu didn't say much, and he was not easy to hit hard. The other party was just a teenage girl, although she was older than herself now, but Yunshu, the mental age of the tree, is almost 30. Gaga order. Order. Order from the headquarters. Capture Tanjiro and Nezuko. Bring them back to the headquarters. Capture Tanjiro and Nezuko, who is a ghost, and bring them back to the headquarters. Everyone was stunned when they heard the voice of the crow. Afterwards, Kanehu, who was constantly attacking Yunshu, finally stopped and was going to turn around to help the hidden troops deal with the wounded. It's not good, Tanjiro said in panic when he heard the voice. In Tanjiro's mind, if the Demon Slayer team catches the ghost who is Nezuko, she will definitely kill her. It doesn't matter if he dies, but if his sister is killed, he will definitely not be able to accept it. Don't worry. Since the ghost killing team wants to catch someone alive, they will definitely not kill Nezuko. Maybe it's to test Nezuko, Yunshu said with a smile. But Oni? Tanjiro was so frightened that he could only look at Yunshu expectantly. Let's go. Yunshu went to the place where he had killed the ghost before and took Nezuko's house over. The next day, Yunshu and Yun's troops brought Tanjiro and Nezuko to the Ubuayashiki mansion, where the current head of the house is. Yunshu came here because Purgatory Xing Xiaolang wanted to see him. There was no way. The false identity given to Yunshu by the system was only valid for people in this world, but it was of no extra help to him. He didn't even have a place where Purgatory Xing Xiaolang lived. No. Yunshu. Long time no see. As soon as Yunshu came in front of Zhongzhu, Purgatory Crossing Xiaolang ran over excitedly and hugged Yunshu. Yunshu. Is a relationship so good? Is he the stepson of Purgatory? How young? Yu Mao Shineyu and looked at Yunshu and sighed. No, this is not young anymore. He should only be 6 years old. Immortal Korra Minami said speechlessly. Amraji Mitsuri, young child. So cute. Yunshu. With Yunshu's hearing ability, he could easily hear Zhang Zhu's conversation, which was why he was speechless. Is there anything you want from me? Yunshu said lightly. It's nothing. It's just been a long time since I saw you. Purgatory Xing Xiaolang spoke without blinking his eyes, almost fighting with Monkey King. Since it's alright, I'll leave first. Yunshu looked at Tanjiro, gave him an encouraging look, and then left the maternity house. System, go back. Yunshu came to a deserted place and said to the system. There are still 3 months to go. Yunshu plans to go back to see Xiao Wu first, explain the situation to her, and then find the nearest spirit fighting field to play. After the saber-toothed tiger incident last time, Yunshu realized that it was still too dangerous to be in the forest. If something happened like last time, no one would come to rescue him, and luck was not always so good. The air in this world is relatively fresh. After returning to Douluo world, Yunshu took a deep breath. Ghost Slayer world, where there are countless evil spirits, Yunshu felt that even the air was polluted by those evil spirits. Oh, if only I could get a teleportation ability. Yunshu looked at his position and sighed. Every time I have to drive, it takes a few hours. If I have a car, it's fine, but the cars in this world are all horse-drawn carriages, bumpy and bumpy. If I've never been in a car, it's fine. The tree can't stand the bumpy feeling of the carriage. When I first got the wings, I still felt a sense of freshness. I felt that flying was pretty good, free and easy, and I could go wherever I wanted. But after a long time, it is no different from riding a car, and flying also consumes physical strength and energy. End of this chapter. Chapter 37. I will protect you. Notting City, Junior Soul Master Academy. By the way, what do these Junior Soul Master Academies teach? Yunshu was standing at the entrance of the academies at this time. He was curious about what Xiao Wu and the others would learn every day. Could it also be Chinese, mathematics and foreign languages? Shaking his head, Yunshu shook off these ridiculous thoughts, then found a place where no one was around, spread his wings, and flew into the school. Little tree. A familiar voice sounded beside Yunshu's ear. Xiao Wu? Yunshu said in surprise. He didn't expect to bump into Xiao Wu when he just came in. Where are you? Are you going? Yunshu asked in surprise. Xiao Wu was hiding near the wall, looking like she was about to jump over the wall. Just right. Take me out quickly. The academy is so boring. Xiao Wu hugged Yunshu's arm and said while shaking it coquettishly. It's okay for you to skip class like this? Yunshu asked in surprise. No problem. Little Sanzi has already taken care of everything for me. Xiao Wu patted her undeveloped chest. Little Sanzi. Yunshu silently mourned for Tang San in his heart for a few seconds. Hearing this familiar address, he knew how Tang San was being bullied by Xiao Wu. But Tang San probably didn't care about Xiao Wu because of Yunshu's face, and Xiao Wu's character is still very gentle. Okay, then where are we going? Yunshu didn't care. Anyway, he mainly came back to accompany Xiao Wu. As for where to go, he didn't care. We have visited the whole Notting City. How about we go to other places? Xiao Wu thought for a while and said. Other places? Yunshu rubbed his chin thinking. You mean to go to other cities? Yunshu raised his eyebrows and said to Xiao Wu. That's right. But how long can you be away? Will you be expelled if the teachers in the academy find out? Yunshu felt that Xiao Wu's behavior seemed unsafe. It's alright. I've already inquired about it. The teacher of the third son is a friend of the principal. If you find out at that time, let the third son help you. Xiao Wu said wittily. Okay. Yunshu had no choice but to agree to Xiao Wu and apologize to Tang San next time when he comes back. Then come here. Yunshu spread his wings and stretched out his hands to hug Xiao Wu. Take off. Half an hour later, the two of them came to a mountain and prepared to rest for a while. Although Yunshu can continue to fly for several hours, Xiao Wu said that she felt sorry for Yunshu, so she made Yunshu stop. I'm just hungry. Let's go after a meal. Yunshu took out a cloth and put it on the ground as if he was out for a picnic. Xiao Wu looked at Yunshu's hesitant expression as if she wanted to say something to Yunshu, but she was worried about something and dared not say it. What's the matter? Yunshu said with a smile. He knew almost all of Xiao Wu's secrets, so it just depends on when Xiao Wu is willing to tell him. Of course, it can be understood if you don't mention Yunshu. After all, races are different, and the saying that people who are not of my race must have different hearts is also reasonable. This kind of thing varies from person to person. Just like Xiao Wu in the original book, she didn't confess to Tang San, and in the end Tang San figured it out by herself after breaking through the Ziji demon eye. What if one day there are many people who want to chase and kill me, and you can't beat those people? What should I do? Xiao Wu said quietly, leaning on Yunshu's arms. Then let them step over my corpse first. Yunshu said the hero's words domineeringly. Hearing Yunshu's words, Xiao Wu was silent, but she was extremely moved in her heart, then turned around and hugged Yunshu. Don't worry, I will find a way to cover up your soul beast breath as soon as possible. Yunshu gently touched Xiao Wu's long hair and said quietly, Xiao you. Xiao Wu looked at Yunshu in shock. I won't say it. Yunshu rubbed Xiao Wu's head and said, when did you know? Xiao Wu said doubtfully, nibbling at the rice bowl in her hand. This rice bowl was brought by Yunshu from the world of Ghost Slayer, because there is no similar food in this world, so it is a new taste. Look at this. Yunshu opened his Sharingan, because he couldn't explain that he knew Xiao Wu, so Yunshu decided to release the Sharingan to attract attention. After all, Yunshu can never say that I have seen you in novels and TV, right? Didn't this mutate when you obtained the soul ring for the first time? Xiao Wu asked suspiciously. That's what Yunshu told him back then. That's right, it's just mutated. Now you can see the flow of soul power and the strong aura of the soul beast beside you. Yunshu explained. He observed that the soul power is real, but he can only observe the soul power that leaves the body. As for the breath of a soul beast, it is completely nonsense. If he didn't know Xiao Wu, he really couldn't tell that Xiao Wu was a soul beast. His performance is like a rabbit, but after all, it is a human form, and there are many people with strange martial spirits. End of this chapter. Chapter 38. From the map, we can see the next city by flying west about 600 kilometers away. Let's go early after eating. Yunshu took out the map he bought in Notting City and said, it's already very late now. If it drags on, the destination may not be reached even after dark. Okay. Xiao, what level is your soul power now? Xiao Wu lay in Yunshu's arms and asked curiously. Level 13. Yunshu said with some embarrassment. He was raised by one level when he fought against the saber-toothed tiger last time. The rest of the time he was either in the ghost world or paddling. He didn't practice well at all. It's only level 13. Xiao Wu said in surprise after hearing this, and then laughed maliciously. What level are you now? Yunshu asked curiously. He's already level 14. Xiao Wu said with a proud tone. Don't forget that you are born with full soul power. Yunshu raised his eyebrows, and my innate soul power is only level 7. Xiao Wu's mouth puffed up, and she wanted to show off in front of Yunshu, but she turned into a clown herself. How many levels is Little San? Yunshu asked curiously. It's been a while since the last battle, and he doesn't know how that guy Tang San is doing now. However, according to his status as a work-study student and the fact that he has to work in a blacksmith shop every day, his training time should not be long. In fact, according to Tang San's talent, it would not be a problem if he could be trained by a better educational institution to reach level 12 before the age of 40, such as Wuhandian. The resources of Wuhandian are definitely the top in the mainland, and Tang San also has Zuanshan Kung Fu to bless his spirit power. It's a pity that he has an enmity with Wuhandian, and Yunshu will soon have an enmity with Wuhandian. After all, Xiao's mother died at Bibidong's hands, and Bibidong didn't even let Xiao go. However, I also want to chase and kill. I don't know. He either goes to see his master teacher every day, or goes to the blacksmith shop in Notting City to strike iron. I also went to the blacksmith shop to discuss this matter with him when I left the academy. It seems that Tang San's achievements should be stronger than those in the original book. Yunshu thought to himself, with such a focus on cultivation, after 6 years, he might be able to reach level 30 or above by the time he went to Shrek Academy. Why do you always mention that Tang San? Xiao Wu said angrily. You don't understand Tang San's future achievements. Forget it. Just treat it as me talking too much. Yunshu shook his head halfway through speaking and told Xiao Wu that she couldn't understand, let alone understand. Only Tang San knew the fairy herbs in Douluo's place, and he knew the properties of each of them, so if Yunshu picked them out, he might be unlucky and get poisoned and be poisoned to death. Tang San's martial arts are all personally designed for him by the creator of this world, so there will be people in this world who are stronger than Tang San, but there is absolutely no one with better luck than him. Except for Yunshu, of course. He is an outsider, and there is a cheat of the system. It's almost there. Yunshu had already seen the lights not far away. Having said that, this world is really strange. It is somewhat similar to the world of Naruto. There are some commonly used electrical appliances, but there are no cars and mobile phones. It should be that the technology tree is a little crooked. Wow, Xiao Wu exclaimed after looking at this strange street. This place is obviously much more developed than Notting City, and in Yunshu's view, it looks a bit like Soto City. Xiaoshu, look there. Xiao Wu seemed to have discovered something interesting, pulled Yunshu, and ran over there. Well, Yunshu had a face full of reluctance. Rather than playing games and shopping, he wanted to see if there was a fighting arena in this city. Because the Stardew Forest couldn't go, he had to find a place to come swipe the rewards of the system. And the Solar Arena is undoubtedly the best choice, where you can fight with different people every day. What? Are you so reluctant to come out to play with me? Xiao Wu turned her head and saw Yunshu's depressed expression and said angrily, "No, Xiao Wu, let's go see if there is a spirit fighting field in this city," Yunshu suddenly suggested, because he remembered that Xiao Wu also seemed to be an aggressive little girl. The Soul Arena? What is the Soul Arena? Xiao Wu asked suspiciously. Little girl, are you going to the Soul Arena? At this moment, the man who was setting up a stall at the side suddenly said, "Uncle, do you know the location of the fighting spirit field?" Yunshu saw a person who knew came to the boss with a bright eye. "Hey, you haven't told me where the soul fighting field is?" Xiao Wu hurriedly pulled Yunshu away and said to the boss, "That's great, the soul fighting field. It is a specific place jointly operated by Wu Hundian and the Empire for soul masters to fight. Many soul masters will choose to go to the soul fighting field to participate in some soul fighting competitions. As long as they participate in the competition, there are certain rewards. If you win, the return will be doubled, so the Solar Arena is a good place to make money. Of course, there are some people whose purpose is not money, but come to the Fighting Spirit Arena to practice. Judging from the appearance of the two of you, you should also want to go to the Fighting Spirit field to practice, right?" End of this chapter. Chapter 39 Cloud Dance. This is the soul fighting field. It sounds interesting, Xiao Wu said with satisfaction. "I've decided. I'm going to the Soul Arena too." Xiao Wu clenched her fists and said, "Ness." Yunshu gave himself a thumbs up in his heart. After having dinner, the two finally came to the soul fighting field, where this city is located, Kiksha Spirit Fighting Field. It turned out that the name of this city was Kiksha City, and the map Yunshu bought didn't have any place names at all, only routes. "Sign up first." Yunshu took Xiao Wu's hand to the life-saving place. "Should we fight alone or in combination?" Yunshu looked at Xiao Wu and asked. "Let's combine. I don't want to meet you in the soul fight." Xiao Wu nodded her chin and said, "Okay. Hello, let's register." 5 minutes later. Register by the way, 2-on-2 soul fighting. Yunshu took out 10 gold coins and put them on the table. The registration fee only needs 5 gold coins. The lady at the front desk accepted the 5 gold coins and pushed the remaining 5 to Yunshu. "Only need 5. Yunshu asked suspiciously, wondering if the house price has risen 6 years later. That's why the registration fee was raised to 10 gold coins. "That's right, we are just a small spirit fighting arena, not a big one," the lady at the front desk explained. "Oh." Yunshu nodded, searching for Disney. "Excuse me, what is the name of your team?" "Let's call it the Yunwu Group. Baiyun's Yunwu Dance." Yunshu also repeated the names of the two people to prevent this Yunwu Group from appearing. The lady at the front desk threw an Iron Fighting Soul badge to Yunshu again. "Let's go, we'll be on stage next." Yunshu touched the rabbit ears on Xiao Wu's head and said, "Soon." The name of the Yunwu Group came from the loudspeaker. "The Iron Fighting Soul Team Yunwu Group, please go to the third arena." "The Iron Fighting Soul Team Yunwu Group, please go to the third arena." "Let's go." A smile appeared on the corner of Yunshu's mouth, and he could finally get rewards, and 2 at a time. 2 on to soul fighting. The second round. The Yunwu team versus the Destroyer King team. Please invite members from both sides to play. Destroyer King, there is someone with such a silly name, Yunshu said, while covering his mouth and suppressing a smile. He almost laughed out loud when he heard the name just now. 2 strong men without clothes. It seems that the martial soul is either a weapon martial soul or a defensive beast martial soul, Yunshu said lightly. The other party was also a soul master. Yunshu didn't have the slightest fear. After all, his overall strength had already reached the level of a great soul master or even a soul master. To deal with this kind of small shrimp, he really needed to have hands. Both sides release martial souls. The soul fight begins. The opponent is a Wuhan axe. It should have a strong attack ability. Xiao Wu, you have to be careful. Yunshu squinted his eyes. The Wuhan axe is still a heavy double-edged axe, and the soul skills should all be offensive, yes, and the two opponents are obviously brothers, with the same type of axe, and the same appearance. The combat effectiveness of this combination is far beyond that of ordinary combinations. Although Xiao Wu's speed is very fast, she is of the assault type after all. Facing this kind of martial spirit is still dangerous. The most important thing is that her own martial spirit is not like Lana and KO, which can be supported at any time. Let me take the main attack. Yunshu thought for a while, but decided not to let Xiao Wu take risks. Yeah. Xiao Wu was also fighting for the first time with a martial soul. She seemed a little at a loss. Seeing Yunshu take out the sword, she still chose to stand behind Yunshu. Weapons can be used in the spirit arena. Tang San and the others use the godly Zhuge crossbow for the first time to kill in the spirit arena. So when they saw Yunshu take out the interpreter, none of the referees and audience objected. The first soul skill. Heavy blow. The first soul skill. Heavy hit. Wow. The Wrecking King combination launched an attack first. And the soul skills of the two contestants are exactly the same. The referee exclaimed when he saw the two identical soul skills. Yunshu frowned. He looked at the two of them who were holding a tomahawk and directly slashed at them, wondering what kind of first soul skill is this? Could it be that it has a special effect? Could it be accumulating power? Thinking of this, Yunshu exclaimed and quickly picked up Xiao Wu behind him and jumped away from the attack range of the Destruction King group. Bang! The battle axe struck the floor with a loud rumble, followed by smoke and dust. Really? Yunshu squinted his eyes. It would be impossible to have such power if he directly chopped it down. It was seen through. The slightly taller person on the other side said gloomily. They have won many victories by relying on seemingly inconspicuous but powerful soul skills. Even if some combinations are not directly defeated by this move, they will be seriously injured and cannot escape the poisonous hands of their two brothers. Brother, what should we do now? We don't know each other's soul skills. The short man came to the tall man and asked. It doesn't matter. How old are the two of them? How amazing are they? End of this chapter. Chapter 40. It doesn't matter. They are only a few years old. How strong can they be? Go straight. After finishing speaking, the two raised their battle axes and rushed towards Yunshu and Xiao Wu. Yunshu really wanted to say something. The two of you yelled so loudly when you released your soul skills. I'm afraid that others won't hear you. If it's over and you're afraid that others will see the effect of your soul skill, then why don't you shout it out? Could it be that this soul skill cannot be released without shouting? Question mark? But the complaints are the complaints. The battle still has to be fought. Yunshu took a deep breath holding the interpreter that he had never used before. Although the interpreter is a one-handed sword, holding it with two hands does not affect its use. It is just the positioning given to him in the game. The surface of the black interpreter began to turn red and then gradually burned. A blow from the star. Call out. Yunshu held the interpreter who was already on fire and struck through the tall man's body with lightning speed. What? The tall man let out a scream and then collapsed to the ground, fainting from the severe pain. The interpreter directly pierced his waist, and because of the high temperature, the wound did not use blood because the inside was already cooked. Yunshu has already kept his hand. If he is not afraid of being punished, he will directly penetrate this person's heart. Although the soul fighting field can kill people, it is another type, life and death fighting. Yunshu dare not bring Xiao Wu to sign up this kind of fighting. With only one waist left, he may only be able to spend his next life on the bed. On the other side, the short brother has been in the sky for several seconds, but he still hasn't landed. This 2v2 soul fight is over, and the Yunwu team wins. Ding. Defeat the Soul Masters and Long, and get Soul Gathering Pill X2. Soul Gathering Pill. Slightly increase the speed of the soul power. Duration 12 hours. Soul Gathering Pill. On the way back, Yunshu looked at the pill in his hand and fell into deep thought. because one day can only participate in one type of soul fighting competition, and Yunshu is worried that Xiao Wu can participate in the soul fighting competition alone, so Xiao Wu can only participate in one competition a day. Because of this, the two have already left the fighting spirit field. Xiao Wu slipped out to play, and it is impossible to keep staring at the fighting spirit field, and it is almost midnight now. Yunshu and Xiao Wu plan to go first sleep. What should I do? This is the last one. Xiao Wu became timid after seeing the signboard of this hotel. Although she was young, she knew a lot of things. The few hotels I have been to before are quite normal, but there are no rooms left. After all, it is almost midnight now, and the only hotel left is still a love hotel. Let's just let it go, Yunshu said awkwardly. Anyway, he planned to use this soul gathering pill today, and he would practice it for one night first. Is anyone there? Hearing a strange voice from the front desk, Yunshu and Xiao Wu's faces immediately turned red. I didn't expect the waiters here to be so open. A scream came to mind, and then a woman with a flushed face cautiously poked her head out. After seeing Yunshu and Xiao Wu at the front desk, he was relieved. Fortunately, there are only 2 children. If there are 2 adults. What's the matter, kids? The lady at the front desk said softly. Yunshu raised his eyebrows. There seemed to be someone hiding behind the counter. We want to stay for one night, and there are no rooms in other hotels. Yunshu said lightly. No problem. 50 copper soul coins. Yunshu took out a silver coin and handed it to the front desk. The consumption of the hotel is quite low, unlike the soul fighting arena, because only soul masters can participate in the fighting in the soul fighting arena, and soul masters are usually very rich people. Hotels are different. Everyone will come to the hotel. Of course, the hotel will also have special rooms for soul masters, and the consumption will definitely be a bit more expensive. Come on, little brother. Here is your room card and change. Yunshu took the room card and the change, and ran away with Xiao Wu. There was an indescribable smell in the air here. Yunshu could only sigh silently in his heart. You city people really know how to play. Xiao was that front desk attendant just now. The 2 of them finally breathed a sigh of relief when they came to the room. Xiao Wu lowered her face and whispered to Yunshu. Don't think too much, go to bed quickly. Yunshu patted Xiao Wu's head, then came to the sofa beside him cross-legged and prepared to meditate. Aren't you going to sleep? Xiao Wu asked suspiciously. You go to sleep, I can just meditate. Yunshu said to Xiao Wu with a smile. Okay, then I'll sleep first. Yunshu took out the soul gathering pill and swallowed it in one gulp, then began to meditate. Sure enough, the speed of absorbing the vitality of heaven and earth has accelerated. It's a pity. If you can continue to absorb the soul power at this speed, you can definitely increase it by 1 level within a week. Yunshu felt the speed of cultivation enough to sigh. End of this chapter. Chapter 41. Refreshed. Yunshu opened his eyes after the effect of the soul gathering pill ended, and found that the sun was already high. Xiao Wu also disappeared. It seems that this girl woke up very early, and she should be wandering around the city at this time. Xiao, I'm back. The door was pushed open, and Xiao Wu walked in carrying a bag. Look what I brought you. Xiao Wu flicked the bag in front of Yunshu. Fruit? Yunshu asked in surprise. That's right, I heard that this is a unique fruit here. Xiao Wu took out one and handed it to Yunshu. Yunshu, isn't this just a blueberry? Yunshu said in surprise. Blueberry? Isn't it called Xiangua? Xiao Wu said suspiciously. Forget it, whatever you want. Yunshu waved his hand. There was no need to worry about the name of a fruit. If you like to eat, you can buy more to take home. Yunshu looked at Xiao Wu and said quietly, I've already bought a lot and put them in the ring. Xiao Wu stretched out her finger and pointed to the ring on her hand. Wait, go back. I haven't played enough. I don't want to go back so soon. Only then did Xiao Wu realize what Yunshu said just now. You've been out all day. Won't there be any problems with the college? Yunshu was just worried that Xiao Wu would be expelled from the college. After all, she was just a work-study student, so it would be nice to let her come to school for free, and she was picky no problem. I'll go back in 2 days. Xiao Wu waved her hand and said indifferently. Okay. Since it's fine, let's play with her for 2 more days. Waist bow. On the soul fighting arena, when Xiao Wu's body fell to the level of the enemy's chest, she curled herself up and then relied on her waist strength to kick towards the enemy's chest in an instant, kicking the enemy away. Not bad. Yunshu clapped his hands at the side. Xiao Wu's actual combat ability has been much improved compared to the day before yesterday, and his opponent was already overwhelmed by him at the very beginning of the battle. The soul fight is over. The Yunwu team won this battle. Cloud dance. Cloud dance. Some spectators in the arena were cheering crazily. They were also familiar with the Yunwu combination of Yunshu and Xiao Wu, because they were the only team in this spirit fighting arena that consisted of 2 6-year-old children, and they even win 3 games. Ding. Defeat Soul Master Liu Hong and get a soul gathering pill. As Yunshu's battles are getting easier and the rewards for battles are getting lower and lower, Yunshu can't wait to upgrade to level 20. In this way, he can fight with some strong men who are close to the Soul Master. Now the rewards for these weak chickens don't even have lottery tickets, so they directly reward the soul gathering pill. Although soul gathering pill Yunshu also likes it very much, but the lottery is the kingly way, and you can get various skills and abilities. Okay, that's enough fighting, and you've pretty much visited this city, so you're willing to go back. Yunshu touched Xiao Wu's rabbit ears helplessly. HMPH. You just want me to leave? Xiao Wu slapped Yunshu's hand away and pouted her mouth, angrily said. Of course not, don't think about it. You see that your soul power level is higher than mine. If I want to protect you, I have to work hard. Yunshu said earnestly. Well. Hearing this, Xiao Wu finally turned around and was no longer angry. After all, Yunshu did this for her, and she couldn't be so ignorant. Alright then. Xiao Wu finally agreed with Yunshu to send her back. Good. Yunshu touched Xiao Wu's rabbit ears. After several hours of flight again, Yunshu sent Xiao Wu back to Notting Junior Soul Master Academy. Stay here well. Before leaving, Yunshu touched Xiao Wu's rabbit ears and said, know it. Then I'll leave. Yunshu didn't want to stay here any longer. He met Xiao Wu and Tang San outside the school last time. This time he sent Xiao Wu to the academy. Yunshu, who left Notting City, returned to the city where he stayed before. He wants to stay here for 3 months. The contestant in this game is the Yunshu contestant from the Yunwu group that has appeared frequently recently. Xiao contestant did not appear on the stage for some reason. Okay. Both contestants are invited to release their martial souls. The competition begins. After sending Xiao Wu back to Notting College, Yunshu came to the soul fighting arena again. The first soul skill. Meteor Fire Feather. This is a fire attributed soul master, and the martial soul is a fire attributed flamingo. Very powerful. This soul skill is somewhat similar to Yunshu's winged attack, Feather Blade. Both are attacks made by wings only. It's still a little short. Yunshu ran his breathing method, easily dodging Huou's attack. This guy is a fire attribute soul master of the agility attack system. His speed is really fast, but his attack methods are relatively simple. Except for the first soul skill, his melee combat strength is really poor. And the speed he is proud of is really not worth mentioning in Yunshu's eyes. It's over. Just after the Buddy's fire feather attack ended, Yunshu rushed to him with an accelerated sprint, and his brain collapsed. End of this chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 42. In this soul fighting competition, player Yunshu won. Ding. Defeat Soul Master Hot Pot and get a low level lottery ticket. Hot Pot? And parents named their children that? Yunshu almost couldn't laugh out loud when he heard that. However, the surname is Huo. Yunshu thought of the fire attributed Blazing Academy in the original book. The captain of the team and the soul master of the control system also had the surname Huo. Hey. Big brother, are you interested in forming a team with me? Yunshu stopped the big brother named Hot Pot when he was checking out. Because Yunshu's Yunwu combination had already participated in several soul fights and had maintained a winning streak, some people began to bet on Yunshu, but Yunshu didn't mind at all, and also bet on himself by the way. No, didn't you earn it? Call me? Hot Pot looked at Yunshu in surprise. Yes, that's right. It's you. Yunshu nodded. Xiao Wu was sent away by him. There must be someone to fight 2v2 for him, otherwise it would be one game in one day. It would be too slow. Alright. In this way, 3 months passed slowly. The soul fight is over. The winner of this match is contestant Yunshu. Ding. Defeat the soul master minimum length and get a soul gathering pill. Why is it soul gathering pill again? Yunshu said speechlessly. Forget it. The time is almost up. It's time to go to Ghost Slayer World and continue to follow up. Yunshu put away the soul gathering pill because he didn't plan to use it for the time being and planned to save it for the next time he came back. But before that, system, let's draw a lottery. I used all 3 together. After returning to the temporary residence, Yunshu told the system that in the past 3 months plus the lottery tickets rewarded, when he defeated the hot pot, he got a total of 3. Ding. Congratulations on obtaining the Konoha secret art of passing body, Millennium Killing. Millennium Kill, an E-level body art developed by Konoha White Fang Hatakes Akumo. Using this art will make people taste the pain of a 1000-year death. No cooldown, no consumption. Ding. Congratulations on getting the forbidden Gowl Kiss. Gowl Kiss, it can absorb the energy in the body of the person being kissed and transform it into its own use. No cooldown, no consumption. Ding. Congratulations on getting the Uchiha throwing technique. Uchiha throwing technique, or throwing technique performed in conjunction with Sharingan. This technique allows you to throw objects with a hit rate of 99.997%, even in invisible blind spots. Note, if there is a miss, it is the host. Its own reasons have nothing to do with the system. No consumption, no cooling. Oh. Finally, there is a reward that can be seen. Yunshu thought with satisfaction after seeing the Uchiha's throwing operation. With this ability, I can also ask Tang San for some hidden weapons to play with in the future. Of course it's fine if it's poisonous. After all, I haven't cultivated Zuanayu hand. The Shuriken and Kyunae in the ninja world are a kind of hidden weapons, so there is no problem for Yunshu to play with Tang San's hidden weapons. As for the previous Millennium Killing, Gowl's kissing and so on, it's fine to kill for 1000 years. This Gowl Kisses, Yunshu remembers that it is a female monster who has cultivated her hair to become a spirit in Hokage, or a female ghost who has learned a special ninjutsu. This, how should I put it? There are too many restrictions for men to learn this technique. If it is an acquaintance, I will definitely not use this ability on the other party. If it is an enemy, it depends on whether the other party is a woman, whether she is pretty. All in all, it's hard to say. Ghosts destroy the world, and a mansion is born. Is anyone there? Yunshu raised his eyebrows looking at the empty mansion. Yansu's stepson. What is your business here? Accompanied by 2 little ghosts with reincarnation eyes, the Lord Sanayashiki Yaoir appeared in front of Yunshu. It's nothing, but do you know where the butterfly house is? Yunshu scratched his head, and Yunshu, a disabled person, was too embarrassed to bother him like that. Choya, I'll let Yin take you there. Yubuayashiki Yoya's gentle voice seemed to be able to produce a special effect, making people feel happy. Okay. But just this can't affect Yunshu. Accompanied by one of Yin's members, Yunshu came to Choya, the place where Tanjiro and the others recuperated. Oh, you're recovering well. Yunshu looked at the few people who were running wildly on the wall and sighed. Sasuke-kun. Tanjiro shouted in surprise when he saw Yunshu. It seems that you are all fine. Ah, it's you. Inosuke, who was wearing a pig's head, was stunned for a few seconds when he saw Yunshu. Later, he recalled that he had seen Yunshu after the ghost house, and of course he was also attracted by Yunshu. The tree fainted somehow. Bastard. Let's fight. Thinking of this, Inosuke crushed over Hachi. Seeing this, Tanjiro hit Inosuke unconscious with a head hammer. You are. Aoi Kanzaki looked at Yunshu suspiciously after seeing a stranger appearing in Butterfly House. Just pretend I don't exist. Yunshu said with a smile. Anyway, they were leaving soon. Aoi Kanzaki looked at Yunshu in a daze. She is Yan Zhu's stepson. A light voice sounded from behind everyone. End of this chapter. Chapter 43. He is Yan Zhu's stepson. A light voice sounded. Everyone's first reaction after hearing this was not Yunshu's identity, but that Li Huareluo Xiangne would actually answer for a stranger. I didn't expect to see her silent, but she would actually speak, because of this guy. Inosuke was wise for a rare time, standing beside Tanjiro with his hands folded. When did you wake up? My wife Zenitsu looked at Inosuke and exclaimed. He clearly saw that he was knocked unconscious by Tanjiro's head hammer. To shut up. Well, the three of Tanjiro are touching a big good to blow air at this time. This is to learn a practice method in the practice of concentrated breathing faster and to exercise the function of the lungs. And Yunshu hadn't used it before, because he himself had undergone several years of brutal training before he acquired the breathing method. His physical fitness was already very strong, and after becoming a soul warrior, his physical fitness was invisibly strengthened by his soul power past. That's why I can learn Shangshang so quickly, and don't need to practice so hard. Bang! Exclamation mark. The three goods exploded at the same time. It seems that the three of them have completely mastered the breathing routine. Great. The three bead-eyed little girls shouted happily. Then the three brought out a box of rice balls. Please bring it. In order to prevent Inosuke from stealing the food, Yunshu packed the rice balls and carried them on his back. Hey, bastard. What are you doing? Seeing this, Inosuke's big eyes burst into flames. Please hit more ghosts. We'll do our best. Tanjiro said, nodding. Mr. Tomioka. Tanjiro suddenly saw Yoshiyuki Tomioka running over. Yunshu didn't go there. After all, he and Tomioka Yoshiyuki didn't have any friendship at all. After waiting for a few minutes, Tanjiro set off with Yunshu and the others, after finishing his speech. Hey, what the hell is this? This creature. After seeing the train, Inosuke said frantically. It was the first time he had seen such a big thing besides a house, when he grew up so big. Could it be possible? He is the ruler of this land. Inosuke said tremblingly. This length. This aura. You can't go wrong. Although I'm still sleeping. But you must not be careless. This is a train. Don't you recognize it? My wife Shanai said in a daze. Snapped. Shut up. Inosuke slapped my wife Zenitsu on the face, telling him not to speak. I'll take the lead first. Inosuke put his hands on the handle of the knife and prepared to cut open the train. Wait. Inosuke. This might be the patron saint of this land. And it's not good to do it right away. Tanjiro said solemnly from the side. No, I said it was a train. My wife Shanai repeated helplessly. Don't worry about them. These two soil beetles have lived in the deep mountains and old forests since they were young, and it's normal to never see a train. Yunshu didn't care much. Hide the knife first, before getting on the train. Otherwise it will cause riots if found out. Yunshu took the lead, to put away the sword, and then slowly walked into the train. The three people behind them also imitated Yunshu, and followed the train. So that's how it is. After getting into the car, Yunshu was stunned for a moment, then smiled and said, no wonder Tanjiro has such a sharp nose, that he didn't smell the ghost, after getting in the car. Each of the multiple carriages of the train has two doors, and the evil spirit is actively hidden, so that Tanjiro cannot smell the evil spirit. Delicious. 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 After the four of them entered, they heard a loud voice not far away. Sasuke-kun, you are Yanzu's stepson, right? In other words, Mr. Purgatory is your master? Tanjiro looked at Yunshu suspiciously and said. To some extent, that's right. Yunshu nodded and said. In a sense. So who is stronger, Sasuke-kun or Mr. Purgatory? Tanjiro asked curiously. He knew that Yunshu was very powerful early on, but he didn't know exactly how strong it was. In terms of slaying evil spirits, of course Yanzu is stronger. Yunshu said quietly. He was right. In terms of slaying ghosts, he is indeed not as good as Purgatory's Xing Shaolang. Yunshu. Come on. Purgatory's Xing Shaolang said excitedly after hearing the conversation behind him, and seeing that it was his apprentice Yunshu. Let's go. Yunshu led several younger brothers to the front of Purgatory crossing Shaolang. Mr. Purgatory. Tanjiro said he was familiar with Yansu because he had seen Yansu in the Zuthan trial. These are members of the Demon Slayer squad. My wife's Zenitsu, Zuhira Inosuke. We have to find a way to get the ordinary people off the train, Yunshu said with a gloomy face. Although he is not from this world, and he doesn't care about the lives of people in this world, but they are all in places that he cannot see, and the evil ghost kills people in front of him. Yunshu can't just watch. Moreover, there will be a powerful third player in the back, Iwazo. Yunshu must find a way to keep the 5 members of the ghost killing team in perfect condition as much as possible. End of this chapter. Chapter 44. We have to find a way to get ordinary people off the train. Tanjiro looked at Yunshu suspiciously. Sure enough, there must be a ghost in this car. My wife Zenitsu was startled when she heard Yunshu's words. He was just timid, not like Tanjiro and Inosuke, who lacked a string in his head and were dumbfounded. Ghost? Where is it? Let me hack him to death. As soon as Inosuke heard that there was a ghost, he immediately became anxious again. Zyoshu, do you already know? Purgatory's Xiaolang said suddenly and seriously. The one who caused the commotion on the train might be the evil spirit of the lower string, and I have a hunch that there may be an upper limit evil spirit attacking tonight. Yunshu said in a deep voice, and the seriousness of the other people had to be serious stand up. Therefore, we must find a way to get the people on the train to evacuate as soon as possible. Yunshu said lightly, but it's just as troublesome. He thought about this problem before getting on the train. If the train is not allowed to start and cause riots, then the evil spirits will definitely kill the crowd. As for the fact that they have reached the barren mountains and mountains, if ordinary people are put down, there is no guarantee that they will not encounter ordinary evil spirits in the wild. Yunshu liked this method anyway. He couldn't see it anyway, but Tanjiro and Purgatory Kajiro must be the first to disagree, so they passed. They had to think of a way to get the best of both worlds. If only one person was left to protect those ordinary people, then there is a problem with the selection of such a candidate. If he leaves, it will be no different from the original book. Both Inosuke and my wife Zenai are unreliable. One has cerebral palsy and cannot protect human beings. There is no way to protect them after passing. It is even more impossible for Tanjiro to leave. Yunshu came here for Tanjiro this time to see if Tanko can awaken marked in the battle against Kazoru. Civilians will drag us down if we fight. If we encounter Shanxin at this time, we will almost certainly die. Yunshu deliberately made the situation a little more serious, trying to attract their attention. In fact, with him around, there won't be any major problems at all, unless Boss Zio personally takes action. But if Yunshu made a move, it would go against his original intention. He didn't come to do good things. The purpose of opening Ghost Slayer World is to allow Yunshu to successfully open the markings. If he misses today's battle, it would be a waste of Yunshu's time. No problem, I will definitely protect everyone. Purgatory's Xiaolang is very confident. Of course, Yunshu, who has read the original book, knows that he can indeed protect these people, but he himself sacrificed because of this incident. Forget it, let's deal with some ghosts first. Yunshu heard the movement behind him, and he didn't seem to be pushing him anymore. This Yan Zhu with a sense of justice seemed to be fearless, and Yunshu couldn't say anything anyway. Not surprisingly, in the next second, an evil spirit appeared in the carriage they were in. Goodbye. Yunshu greeted him, and then cut his knife across its neck. After 3 months of actual combat, Yunshu's swordsmanship has already reached the point of perfection. This kind of scumbag can be hacked to death with his feet. Ah. Monster. The appearance of the evil spirit made the entire carriage, where Yunshu was in a commotion. I'll go out for a while, Yunshu said lightly, after looking at the few people who were comforting everyone, and then disappeared from everyone's eyes. Since he didn't want to deal with ordinary people here, Yunshu had no choice but to deal with the sleeping ghost Nightmare first. Doing this will definitely alert Nightmare in advance. Maybe it will eat some ordinary people, but Yunshu can't control these anymore. He can't let this cerebral palsy thing ruin his business. He has to try his best to let everyone maintain their full strength to deal with Iwazo. Only in this way can Tanjiro or Purgatory Kajiro open their stripes. In the original book, Yan's purgatory's Xiaolang had already exhausted most of his physical strength when he hit Yuazao, because he guarded 5 carriages by himself, and the number of passengers guarded exceeded 100. The workload involved can be imagined no. In addition, Nightmare itself is the main body of the train, which means that he must have known their plan. In terms of choice, he will undoubtedly choose the few carriages guarded by Yansu as the main target of the attack. After all, the carriages, if there are too many, and the distance is too far, there will always be situations that crossing Xiaolang can't estimate. And this also means that crossing Xiaolang has consumed a lot of physical strength in protecting the passengers. After all, fighting and protecting back and forth consumes a lot of physical strength and energy. A few people with full strength may have the opportunity to open the stripes when facing Yuazao. After all, the conditions for the stripes to be opened are that the body temperature must reach 39 degrees and the heart rate must be above 200 times. Have you noticed me? Yunshu frowned, looking at these ordinary people blocking him. These people will not stop him for no reason. The only possibility is that the ghost hand of Nightmare ordered them. Heh. I'm different from them. End of this chapter. Chapter 45 Dream. Heh. I'm different from them. A sneer appeared on the corner of Yunshu's mouth. No matter what the reason for these people who are willing to collude with evil spirits, since they choose to join the camp of evil spirits, they must be prepared to be killed. Sleeping Flower Blade. Yunshu released Wangyoucao, flicked his right hand, and shot countless blades at those who blocked his way. What? There were bursts of screams, and he, who possesses the throwing technique of the Uchiha clan, shot all the petal blades at the vital points of this group of people. Don't they like to dream? Let them all die in their sleep. The Wuhan's attack can make Tanjiro not aware of who is responsible for it, because they have never seen Yunshu's Wuhan, and the flower blade will disappear shortly after hitting. After all, it is formed by the condensed spirit power. Things are not entities. Tanjiro, who was in Zushi before, had never seen the wounds of the 2 evil spirits, so Tanjiro didn't know how Yunshu solved it. This will slow down my progress. It's better to go directly to the top. Yunshu thought for a while, and flipped from the window onto the train. Yunshu remembered that Nightmare seemed to have fused his entire body with the train, and his neck was where the coal was loaded, and he only needed to cut it off to destroy Nightmare directly. The carriage where Yunshu was located was relatively at the front, but after crossing 4 carriages, he finally arrived in front of Nightmare. This can't be done. I haven't finished it yet. Go to sleep first. Right in front of Yunshu, a man and woman figure said in a panic, after seeing Yunshu, then raised his hand and pointed at Yunshu. Yunshu released a vampire technique. Right the wheel. Thump. Yunshu was just about to activate the Sharingan defense, but he didn't expect that Sharingan would have no effect. He was startled suddenly and fell on the train carriage, and the neither male nor female figure didn't want to move Yunshu again, just turned around and seemed to be waiting for something. Honey, come and see our baby. Somewhere as beautiful as a fairyland. A man who was holding a baby at this time said ecstatically, my child. The mother, who had just given birth to the side, looked at the baby next to her with loving eyes, and a trace of pain flashed in her eyes. Child? Who is the child? Whose child? Yunshu looked at the picture in front of him with a dazed expression, and he seemed unable to move at this moment. Can we? No. The man interrupted the woman before she finished speaking. It's too dangerous for him to stay by our side. The man was also full of pain in his heart, and he reluctantly abandoned his child. But, for the sake of their children's safety, they have to do it. Where is this? Why am I here? Yunshu looked at the place he was in with a dazed expression again. He seems to have forgotten what just happened. What's the matter, brat? The man at the side waved his hand when he saw Yunshu came to him in a daze. Dad, why are you here? After Yunshu saw the man, he suddenly remembered that today was his day of great joy. No wonder I'm wearing this kind of clothes. Why do I say this kind of clothes? Yunshu scratched his head helplessly. He had obviously been wearing this kind of clothes all the time. Come on. Zyoshu is here to take pictures. Yunshu's mother waved towards Yunshu. Here we come. Yunshu looked down and put down the food in his hands. He didn't know why. They were all very common things, but he just felt like he hadn't eaten them for a long time. Why do I feel a feeling of loneliness? Standing with relatives and friends, although everyone was laughing and laughing, Yunshu always felt very uncomfortable. Eggplant. Click. The moment the flash was turned on, a picture suddenly flashed in front of Yunshu, a little girl dressed like a rabbit lying in his arms. Xiao Wu. After taking the photo, Yunshu murmured, "Who is Xiao Wu?" Yunshu suddenly fell into confusion, as if he had forgotten something important. "Wake up, wake up." A familiar voice sounded in Yunshu's ear. Who is talking? After taking the photo, everyone dispersed, leaving only Yunshu standing there alone in a daze. "Wake up." With a roar, Yunshu was completely awakened, and Yunshu in the lobby suddenly changed from a young man to a child about 7 or 8 years old. Damn it. Yunshu finally recalled everything at this time. He was hit by the blood ghost technique of that evil ghost on the way to kill the ghost. Without saying a word, Yunshu picked up the knife on the table and stabbed it directly in the neck. Consciousness returned to his body in an instant, and Yunshu rushed forward and cut off part of the nightmare's body in an instant. He thought that his Sharingan could ignore the blood ghost technique, but he was still careless. Ha ha ha. It's useless. I have merged with the whole train, and you seem to be a little different. Nightmare looked at Yunshu with a weird smile. Completely integrated with this train. End of this chapter. Chapter 46. Damn it. Yunshu frowned and cut the half of Nightmare's body that was still talking into pieces. Nightmare seemed to be able to observe the subject's dream, and Nightmare should have seen his secret. Which means that Wumi also knows his secret. It's useless. Nightmare's voice came from all around, and then countless tentacles stretched out from the train and began to attack Yunshu non-stop. Kai, Kai, Kai. These tentacles seem to be endless, and after being cut, they will regenerate again within a few seconds. Ah. So annoying. Yunshu finally couldn't help complaining. He put away the interpreter in his hand and took out the sun wheel sword that he hadn't used for a long time. The reason why the interpreter has been used is because the special skills that the interpreter comes with can only be used by the interpreter. Now it seems that, even if there is a breath of the sun, it seems that it is not satisfactory to use the interpreter to deal with evil spirits. Time is running out. Let's kill you soon. Yunshu jumped into the air and spread his wings. How is it possible? How can human beings definitely have wings? Nightmare's voice suddenly became hurried, as if shocked. Yunshu nimbly avoided Nightmare's attack in the air and took out the hood that he had prepared and put it on his head. Boom, boom, boom. Countless eyes on Nightmare's tentacles began to crazily launch the blood ghost technique, but Yunshu had already understood the weakness of this blood ghost technique. That is, it must see the opponent's eyes to cast it, which is very similar to the illusion of Sharingan. That's why Inosuke in the original book was able to survive such a situation unscathed and even rescued Tanjiro, who almost committed suicide because of a dream. Impossible. Seeing that his blood ghost technique had no effect, and Yunshu was getting closer and closer to his neck, Nightmare panicked. Yunshu raised the sun wheel sword high, and the sword exuded a strong flame, aimed at Nightmare's neck and slashed Zenai. After dealing with the Nightmare, Yunshu found a place to sit down. His mind is a little confused now. The voice that woke him up in the dream before, obviously he had never heard it before, but he felt very familiar. And there was also the previous dream, a dream of a couple holding a baby. He didn't know why he dreamed of something that had nothing to do with him. Yunshu, well done. Purgatory Kyojiro walked out of the overturned train with a child in his arms and put it on the ground. What's the matter? Purgatory Xing Xiaolang asked doubtfully, seeing Yunshu's silence. No. Yunshu shook his head and temporarily threw these things out. The real battle will start next. Bang. There was a sound like an explosion not far from the train. Yunshu squinted his eyes. If nothing else, it should be that evil ghost of Yewazo. It's a ghost. The smoke and dust dispersed, and everyone exclaimed. Winning. The third. Seeing the number in the opposite ghost's eyes, Tanjiro's pupils shrank instantly. This sense of oppression and terror. Is this the ghost of the string? Purgatory Xing Xiaolang was secretly shocked. Little devil. Who are you? Yewazo didn't rush up immediately. because among the group of people opposite, there was one person whose vindictiveness obviously surpassed the rest of them, and that was Yunshu. The breath of his son's breath is like the disgusting breath of the real sun to a powerful evil spirit like Yewazo. It's only a GUI level, it's not worth mentioning. A sneer appeared on the corner of Yunshu's mouth. When did GUI level ghost hunters have such strength? Yewazo said cautiously, and he could see that Yunshu's strength had reached what he called the highest level, which was comparable to him, and could even be said has surpassed him. It's just that Yewazo is not afraid, because for evil spirits, they have an innate advantage, that is, their body's healing ability far exceeds that of humans. They can make countless mistakes, as long as they are not beheaded, but humans can cause irreparable damage if they make one mistake. The technique is unfolded. Destroy and kill, the Luo needle. After activating the blood ghost technique, Yewazo hooked his fingers at several people. Bring it on. Be careful. His blood ghost technique can accurately predict our attack, based on our breath. Yunshu explained to everyone that Yewazo's blood ghost technique depends on the strength of the opponent. The stronger the opponent's vindictiveness, the stronger the response of the blood ghost technique, and the higher the corresponding strength and accuracy. Unless it is a weak person without fighting spirit or a person who has awakened and penetrated the world, he will almost always be predicted by him. Boom. Yunshu took the lead. He wanted to weaken Yewazo's strength, otherwise it would be a problem, whether Tanjiro could see clearly with his moving speed. In an instant, he came to Yewazo. I'll play with you. Yunshu didn't hold a sword, and the limbs he chopped off generally wouldn't regenerate, which would directly scare Yewazo away. What he wanted was an Oni who could put pressure on Tanjiro, not an Oni who just wanted to escape. End of this chapter. Chapter 47. Yewazo is indeed a ghost who can break through the boundaries. Even though Yunshu is stronger than him, he still can't gain the upper hand in a fight. You are the most powerful human being I've ever seen. Become a ghost? Yewazo stopped while slapping his hands. He looked at Yunshu with a smile on his face and said lightly, sorry, I like to bask in the sun. Yunshu narrowed his eyes and rushed up again. Bang! Exclamation mark. Yunshu seized the opening and kicked Yewazo away with one kick. Destruction kill empty style. Invisible air cannons shot out from Yewazo's hands one by one. Boom, 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 boom. The corner of Yunshu's mouth curled up and his body twisted strangely, easily dodging the incoming invisible air cannon. It's amazing. I can't see their actions clearly. Tanjiro, who was watching the battle, said in shock. Is this the true strength of Sasuke-kun? No, he hasn't used the sun wheel knife yet. Purgatory's Shaolang said excitedly with a ruddy complexion. He didn't expect his stepson to be so powerful. The youngest column. After receiving all the attacks from Yewazo, Yunshu turned around and kicked directly to the head, hitting Yewazo on the head and kicking him away. Yunshu's physical fitness is actually not much weaker than Yewazo, but he has the blessing of soul power, and the skills of close combat Yewazo are not even as good as Tang San. It's just that he is very powerful. Come again. Yewazo jumped back and said excitedly, he is a ghost who admires the strong, and meeting powerful people will only make him more excited. Destroy the kill foot style. Yewazo ran quickly, came to Yunshu's side, raised one foot, and kicked towards Yunshu. Bang. Yunshu put his arms in front of him, blocking the kick. Sparkling group of lights. Yewazo yelled, kicked Yunshu again with one foot, and kicked violently several times in an instant, like a flash burst. Chug chug. Seeing this, Yunshu quickly took out his sword. Even if such a berserk attack was really carried off with his body, it would definitely break his bones. So Yunshu could only take out his sword to resist it. Did you see it? As long as you become a ghost, you don't need to defend against this kind of attack at all. Even if you hit it, it's no big deal. Yewazo said to Yunshu with a smile. Yunshu let out a breath. Since he took out his sword, let's attack with it. Shit, you. Yunshu didn't answer Yewazo, but replied with a straight face. Although Yewazo didn't understand Yunshu's words, he understood the mocking tone, and then his face became gloomy. I invite you one more time. Let's become a ghost. Slightly. Yunshu stuck out his tongue and made a disgusting voice. Destroy kill destroy style. Phantom Rihang. Yunshu dodged Yiwozo's punch with all his strength and came behind Yiwozo. Continue. Millennium Kill. Kai. The long sword was inserted through Yiwozo's buttocks and pierced out from his abdomen. Seeing Yunshu's indescribable stabbing action from Yiwozo with the sun wheel knife, everyone who was watching the battle was stunned. How can it be repaired? How can it be repaired? Yiwozo pulled out Yunshu's sword and threw it at Yunshu's feet. Yunshu looked at Duanjian and stretched out his hand helplessly. Both swords are broken. Is my luck not very good? Sasuke-kun. Tanjiro and the others exclaimed when they saw Yunshu's hickory saber cut off. Next change. Purgatory crossing Shaolang came to Yunshu's side. Yunshu's sword was broken. It was time for them to make a move. It happened that Yunshu was also thinking about how to hand over Yiwozo to them to deal with. Now that it's all over, he doesn't need to open his mouth anymore. Tanjiro, you can come along too. This is a ghost. You can get used to it in advance. Yunshu came to Tanzi and patted him on the back and pushed him out. The chrysanthemum of Yiwozo was pierced by Yunshu. Now the wound cannot heal temporarily and it is still bleeding. In addition, after fighting with Yunshu for a while, the physical strength has obviously declined. At this time, let Tanjiro and Purgatory crossing Shaolang should have no problem going up for doubles. Me. But big brother Purgatory. Tanjiro said hesitantly. Don't worry. Killing evil spirits is everyone's responsibility. Yunshu said with a smile. Hi. Yiwozo was really fast when he first appeared on the stage, but now he has slowed down. Tanjiro can still see clearly, as long as he is serious. Oh, I don't know if Tanjiro can awaken Zebra. Yunshu thought to himself as he sat aside and watched their battle quietly. When you turn on the markings, you need to have a body temperature of 39 degrees and a heart rate of more than 200 times. This level should not be difficult for the current Tanjiro. Yunshu looked at the man who was in the midst of a fierce battle not far ahead. Tanjiro. If you can't, then I'm really disappointed. Yunshu looked at Tanjiro quietly and said, then took out the interpreter from the system space and pointed it at Tanjiro who was not far away. End of this chapter. Chapter 48 Awakening Zebra leaves Ghost's lair. Bang! Exclamation mark. Little devil. Don't bother me. Yiwozo knocked the already exhausted Tanjiro into the air with a single punch. Ahem. It's so painful. Tanjiro rolled to the side, clutching his mouth and thinking in pain. I've already surpassed the limit of my physical fitness. It's pitch black. I can only hear my own violent heartbeat. Ahem. It's so painful, I can hardly breathe. No. I still want to help brother Purgatory. Sasuke-kun's sword has been broken, and he can't participate in the battle. Now I'm the only one who can help brother Purgatory. Get the knife. Pick up. Oh, it seems that Tanzi is very competitive. I didn't waste so much time. Yunshu finally showed a smile after seeing the strange flame-shaped lines that suddenly appeared on Tanjiro's face. It's just because of the scar and blood on Tanjiro's head that few people didn't notice. I'm here to help you. Yunshu picked up the interpreter and joined the battle with Yiwozo again. Sasuke-kun. Tanjiro, who had stood up again, shouted excitedly after seeing Yunshu. Concentrate. Yunshu said to Tanjiro. Even if he awakened mottled, Tanjiro, who was already half disabled, would not be the opponent of Yiwozo. Hi. Now that Tanzi has turned on the markings, there is no need for Yunshu to keep him. Let him accompany his Liangsu and his master. Komaji. Yunshu shouted at Yiwozo who was fighting. Nani. Opportunity. Purgatory Xing Shaolang saw the right moment and beheaded Yiwozo with a single blow. Coma. ZHI. Yiwozo said quietly while staring at Yunshu with his severed head. Coma. Gee, who is it? It's so familiar. Yiwozo's body gradually got up. Lying grass. He won't break through the limit at this time. Ordinary ghosts will die when their necks are beheaded by the sun wheel knife. This is the limit of ghosts. But once the ghost has a strong obsession before death, it is possible to break through this limit and complete the regeneration of the head, and it will not die, even if it is beheaded by the sun wheel knife again, but it is still afraid of the sun. Am I talking too much? Yunshu said helplessly. It seemed that Unyielding seemed to care about the name Komaji, and that even if he was beheaded, he still had a strong obsession to understand him. But this is not wrong. After all, Komaji is his name when he was a human. It's not good. He's going to break through the limit. Yunshu exclaimed, and by the way, told a few people what breaking through the limit meant. What? You won't die, even if you are beheaded? Everyone exclaimed in unison. Then we can only rely on the sun to kill him. Purgatory's Xiaolang said seriously, looking at the headless body of Wangyoucao who had slowly climbed up. No, let me do it. Lend me your knife. Yunshu took the red blade of Purgatory's Xiao. His knife should be the most suitable for using the breath of the sun among the people. Present point because the breath of fire is the most related to the breath of the sun among the 5 breaths. Yunshu exhaled and then slowly heated the knife in his hand until it turned red, and even the air around the blade was distorted by the high temperature. Sighui. Yunshu, have you improved the breath of flame yet? Purgatory Kyojiro said in surprise after seeing the flame on his sun wheel sword. His breath of flame can only make the sword it started to burn, and the breathing method that Yunshu was using now could heat up the blade like this. However, what Yunshu didn't notice was that a special flower-like pattern gradually appeared on his collarbone. Dragon of Sun Halo Head Dance. Like a dragon flying like a fire dragon, Yunshu quickly came to Unyielding and performed 10 consecutive slashes at him, cutting Unyielding who had just stood up into freezer. Immediately afterwards, Unyielding's body that had been cut into pieces began to gradually burn. So easy? Yunshu said in surprise. Could it be that Unyielding's injury hasn't recovered yet? Ding. The markings are successfully activated. Ghost Slayer world is closed for the remaining 24 hours. The stripes opened? So fast. Yunshu said in shock. He originally planned to play in this world for a month and leave after Zebra awakened, but he didn't expect that Tanjiro would wake up after less than 10 minutes. Then, what about the penetrating world? Yunshu asked the system. Could it be that the system just let him turn on the markings and it's over? The information cannot be provided. Good guy. Yunshu was choked, and Yunshu, who was so angry at a word, was speechless. By the way, now that the stripes have been opened, then there are some special patterns on my face. Yunshu was startled suddenly. He forgot about this. The spots on his face would affect his appearance too much. The markings are on the host's collarbone. Clavicle? That's okay, it's a tattoo. Yunshu finally breathed a sigh of relief. His long face was too pervasive. It's time to leave. Seeing Unyielding's corpse gradually being burned, Yunshu sighed. End of this chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 49. Is it impossible to enter the Ghost Slayer world? It's a pity. Douluo world. On the hotel bed, Yunshu sighed. In his mind, the door leading to the world of Ghost Slayer was originally open, but now it is not only closed, but it seems to be locked, and it cannot be opened at all. Forget it. I didn't think about any benefits in that world anyway. The transparent world should be incompatible with this world. Yunshu thought to himself. Otherwise why the system couldn't provide this information. Speaking of which, since the markings are activated, I must find someone to try. Yunshu came to the mirror and looked at the weird tattoo on his collarbone. The appearance of this flower should be affected by his martial spirit. Although there is a saying that you can only live until the age of 25 with markings on, that is only for ordinary people in the world of Ghost Slayer. Except for Jiguanai ghosts, that world is just ordinary human beings, just like Jiguanai ghosts. Guoyuanai, an extraordinary person with markings, lived a normal life until he died of old age. What does this mean? The side effect of stripes will only be effective for the weak, not the lifespan consumption that is circulated on the internet. The effect of Jiguanai stripes is also to enhance strength. So what is the biggest difference between Jiguanai and those ordinary people? Isn't it strength? The strength is powerful, so the side effects of markings are ignored. It shows that, as long as Yunshu continues to practice, sooner or later, he will be able to ignore this side effect. Point taking a 10,000 step back, doesn't he still have a system? Is there anything the system can't do? However, it is unlikely to be possible in the fighting spirit field. After all, I'm only level 16. Even if I'm fighting spirit, I will only fight against people below level 20. How is that different from bullying children? Yunshu shook his head, looking like I still need to take another risk, go to the Stardow Forest. The next day, Yunshu started to rush back early in the morning. The Stardow Forest is still in the south of Notting City, so even if he wanted to go to the Stardow Forest, Yunshu had to pass through Notting City, so he might as well go back and have a look. Anyway, he hadn't seen him for a long time. It's time for Xiao Wu. Ding, 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 ding. Yunshu came to Notting City, but unexpectedly met an acquaintance. 3. Yunshu said in surprise. He didn't expect Tang San to work here at this time. Little tree, you're back. Where have you been for so long? Tang San seemed to have found a vent and poured out all the bitterness of the past few months to Yunshu. After 2 months of not waiting for Yunshu, Xiao Wu's violent temper suddenly broke out, and since then, every day when Tang San was caught, she complained. After a month like this, Tang San was already forced not to stay in the academy anymore, and whenever he was free, he would come to the blacksmith's shop to strike iron. It's really hard work for you, Yunshu said awkwardly. He didn't expect Xiao Wu to become so dependent on him. Okay, don't squat here. Now that you're back, hurry up and find her, or I'll suffer again when I go back tonight. Tang San told Yunshu to leave quickly like a god of plague. Yunshu came to the gate of the college. He only found out last time that his behavior of jumping over the wall had been discovered long ago, but the other party didn't make things difficult for him because he was a child. After sending Xiao Wu back last time, the other party chatted with him and said that if he came back in the future, he would try to go through the main door. Little friend, what do you want to do? This time the doorman was replaced by an uncle. I don't know if the dog was fired last time because of his bad attitude. Yunshu didn't answer, and a Sharingan illusion directly hypnotized him. It was too troublesome to register this and that. Guess who I am? Yunshu sneaked up behind Xiao Wu, who was in contact, and blindfolded her. Xiao, you finally came to see me. Xiao Wu pulled Yunshu's hand away excitedly, turned around and hugged Yunshu. It's been 3 months. Where the hell have you been? It makes people think so worried about you. Xiao Wu hid in Yunshu's arms and said resentfully, don't worry, the matter is over. I won't disappear for the time being. I will go to Notting City to buy a house, and I will live there until you graduate. Yunshu touched Xiao Wu's rabbit ears. It's not like he just played without doing anything in the Ghost Slayer world. Although Yunshu couldn't get all the resources in that world, he still got a lot of things like gold. Yunshu has already seen it. They are gold coins made of ordinary gold, but they are called differently. Gold is also valuable in this world, so Yunshu plans to cash out all the gold on hand in Notting City. Really? Then I want to live with you too. Xiao Wu said excitedly. Yes, but I will go to the forest occasionally to practice. Yunshu didn't tell Xiao Wu that he was going to the Stardow Forest, but only mentioned the forest, making Xiao Wu think it was the hunting forest near Notting City. After all, the Stardow Great Forest is still too dangerous. There are countless powerful spirit beasts in it. If one encounters one that can fly, it will be very difficult for Yunshu to escape. Okay, but you must tell me before you leave. Xiao Wu stared straight at Yunshu and said, for fear that he would run away again. Okay, Yunshu said with a smile. End of this chapter. Chapter 50 Transformation Pill. Well, gold is still quite valuable. Yunshu thought to himself, thinking about Jinkan in the space. He has just exchanged all the gold from Kyang for gold soul coins, about 120 million, all of which are stored in the bank card. Speaking of which, there are such magical things as bank cards in this world, which can be used by all banks on land, which means they can be used anywhere. Yunshu bought a house near Notting College, arranged the furniture, looked at Xiao Wu, and gave her a key, and went to the Stardow Forest. It's been a long time since I've breathed such fresh air, Yunshu said, after taking a deep breath. Yunshu frowned, and bursts of ripples suddenly appeared in front of his eyes. What the hell is this? Yunshu rubbed his eyes, and found that ripples really appeared in front of him. Hehe, Xiaoshu, a male and female voice could not be heard, rang beside Yunshu's ear. What the hell? Yunshu took out the interpreter, and lifted it up carefully. He was recruited not long after entering the Stardao forest, so unlucky. Little tree, come here. Come here. Another ripple flashed in front of Yunshu, and then a woman, in revealing clothes, appeared in front of Yunshu, and smiled charmingly at Yunshu. Sharingan. Yunshu opened Sharingan. It should be an illusion, or something like a charm, and he doesn't know how he got it. Lying on the grass, Yunshu exclaimed. Unexpectedly, the moment he opened his eyes, he found a large group of fluttering moths flying in front of Yunshu. What the hell? Yunshu hurriedly ignited the interpreter in his hand, and waved it to repel the group of big moths. Kill X56 phantom butterflies. No reward for now. Yunshu was taken aback for a moment, but he didn't expect that there would be prompts for killing these moths. There is no reward for now. Isn't this just telling me to kill all these fluttering moths? A smile appeared on the corner of Yunshu's mouth. Phantom butterfly. Yunshu remembers hearing people say, when he was in Kiksha, 1 or 2 is not harmful to people, and the toxicity is not great. It is only effective for ordinary people, and soul masters with soul power are generally immune to this hurtful. But a large group of phantom butterflies is different. After forming a group, phantom butterflies can rely on the scale powder on their wings to release large illusions, luring people into dangerous situations without knowing it. I must have accidentally inhaled a big mouthful of this product's powder just now. Yunshu thought to himself. He took a deep breath when he just got down, and if there is no accident, he should have inhaled it at that time. Swish swish! Exclamation mark. Yunshu followed the interpreter, who was on fire, and started chasing and killing the butterflies frantically. Kill 109 phantom butterflies. No reward for now. Kill 164 phantom butterflies. No reward for now. Kill the phantom butterfly. Kill. After more than 2 hours. Ding. Kill 66 phantom butterflies, and reward the 19th receiving ring of Pilking Furukawa. Pilking. Guhi. The 19th ring. Yunshu looked at the space ring in his hand in surprise. It is understandable that a strong man owns a lot of Neji Yunshu. After all, you can't put all your eggs in the same basket. Therefore, when you go out, you usually bring some necessary things and things that you may be able to use. Open it and have a look. Yunshu opened the ring and took out everything inside. Why do you say everything? Because there are only 5 pills in the ring, and none of the 5 cloud trees knew each other. System, what is this? Yunshu picked up a elixir and looked at it carefully for a while, then asked the system after finding out that he really couldn't understand it. Identifying. Ding. The 5 pills are 1 7th rank transformation pill, 4 6th rank fighting spirit pills. Is it possible to convert the pill into a usable world shaping pill? Yunshu was startled with this thing. Xiaowu could. Wait. The transformation pill seems to be used to help beasts that cannot transform into human form. Xiaowu can already transform into human form, so eating it should be useless, right? Yunshu picked. He raised his eyebrows, feeling very happy. Let's transform. Although Xiaowu won't be able to use it anymore, if it is used by Shine King Niuban, maybe he can be invited to be Xiaowu's bodyguard. After all, after taking transformation pill, he can transform into himself at any time the original appearance. Don't worry about whether you can change back or not. This should be the only use of transformation pill. As for letting Xiaowu eat, Yunshu couldn't guarantee that it wouldn't work if people took it, and Xiaowu, who couldn't transform back into a soul beast, might not be useful to her. Ding. Transformation successful. Shaping pill. It can transform any beast into a human form of life. Dowling pill. After taking it, it can be upgraded by 1 level. Note, it is only useful for the soul sect. If you take it below the soul sect, you will explode and die. If you use it above the soul sect, you can only increase a little soul power. End of this chapter. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.